Why, hello there.
Good evening.
I have left my sound on this, and that is really, really awkward.
Well,
How's everybody doing?
I am wonderful.
I wasn't asking you, I was asking the people watching.
Yeah,
Fuck.
well,
I was
fuck
gonna
you.
get to you. I guess you've answered now.
Yeah.
Wasn't my plan.
I don't know. I thought you were addressing the room.
Yeah, not you.
I am a part of the room.
You are not the
I am
room.
in the room. If I'm in the room, then I'm a part of the room.
Welcome back to the Technical Difficulties Podcast. I am your host, Jacob Smith.
And I am a guest for the third time in a row. My name is Alfredo.
There we go. You didn't have to say Alfredo. Hey, free to play, how's it going, man?
What's up, free to play?
Alright. So, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is our topic going to be for today?
Well, if you can...
Oh, no, that's not our topic.
Oh, that's not the topic?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll roll for it. Because I
What do
have
you
no
mean?
clue.
I'm not on top of the room. I am on top of the world, though. Thanks, free to play. I appreciate the question. No, this isn't the topic. This is just to try and get people chatting.
Ah. Okay.
So what's your topic for today?
See, I haven't thought about this. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah, good. That's why I don't ask you to think of a topic beforehand.
Why?
It's more fun this way.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well,
I'll roll you for it.
okay, I will choose to lose. I'm the host here. You choose the topic. I already asked.
Shit.
Yeah, that's right. You could have come in and asked me to do the topic when you introduced yourself. You didn't.
Dude, I have no idea.
Well, you're new to D&D.
I am very new to D&D.
So?
So new, in fact, that I
What
haven't
would you
even
like
played. I think I've had my bases pretty much covered to my knowledge.
Hmm. What do you mean by that?
Like, the real basic bases covered.
Yeah, that's fine. So let's go for something that's not real basic.
What do you have in mind?
You choosing a topic.
What's something that I have personally overlooked that will kick me in the ass?
Do you have your character sheet here?
Do I have my character sheet?
I have no idea, man. I know you.
I
you
know my character sheet is here somewhere.
Well, that's my old character sheet,
Yes.
but yeah. So, for
could be
anyone that
anyone's
wasn't watching on Friday, I died. It was kind of expected. I was saying to Blake the whole way here before the session that I had a really bad feeling about it. Thought I was gonna die. Guess what? I'm a fucking wizard. Well, I was a wizard. Now I'm dead. I wasn't a divination wizard.
It is not.
That's fine. Yeah, go back and watch it, Blue. The episode will be coming out on YouTube. But my wizard Thandrell has died, and so did the paladin drow Zephyr. Funnily enough, we both died trying to save each other. So we both failed.
Well, I guess I'm doing better than you. Because I haven't died yet.
I mean, if you want to make that like a challenge,
No, I do not.
I'm sure I
No.
can make it happen.
No, I do not want you to make it happen.
I did tell you I don't specifically want you to die.
I as much as I hate to admit it,
Yeah.
it will probably happen.
You say you hate to admit it, but you brought that up yourself
I know, because that's what I'm scared of.
more times than anything else.
I'm scared of my mortality.
He hasn't lived yet. You know why he hasn't lived yet? He hasn't died yet in D&D.
And you're just gonna need to rip the band-aid off.
It's not that bad. Look, you play your character out and you play it the best you can.
Of course.
Once your character inevitably dies, because they will. Oh, look, everyone from the last campaign has almost died.
Yes, I've noticed.
No, like, I mean, in general. Because time goes on, right?
Oh,
Your character's gonna die at some point. Even if you finish the campaign, start a new one in the same world,
They
not
will
gonna be
die.
the same time. So, character's gonna die anyway, so why not go on a blaze of glory?
I like the sound of that.
That's right. So you got no topic for me. You are the first person I've had on.
Dude, I have
had no topic.
absolutely no idea. Actually, how did you spend your Father's Day?
How did I spend my Father's Day? I went and saw my missus' family.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went and saw my family, and it was just a big day. I had a lot of food.
Ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your food?
Oh, of course, mate.
Good food?
Food is the best.
What'd you eat?
This isn't D&D talk, mate.
Dude,
I want a D&D topic.
this is
How
very...
did your Father's Day?
I was alright.
Do anything?
I worked.
You worked.
I worked.
Lovely. Was it a good day at work?
No.
Lovely.
12 and a half hours of hell.
Lovely.
Oh.
What you want to hear.
Yeah.
And by it's what you want to hear, I mean it's definitely not.
No. It was alright though. I woke up pretty early for a big morning breakfast with the family.
Lovely. Lovely. So come on, man. We need a topic. We're sitting here boring people. You're the first person I've had on this
Dude.
on the show.
Because I...
That when I said, you know what, come up with a topic, didn't just go, you know what, let's have a think for a second, and then immediately came up with something.
Alright. I'll have a think.
You've had a think.
For a sec. No, I haven't. I was stumped. I got stumped.
Yeah, good. That's where you find the best content.
No.
You're thinking too hard about it.
No. Okay, I just need a second to relax.
While Alfredo's thinking, what is your favorite D&D story? That goes to the chat. Because I couldn't think of something to write on the board today. So that's where we got. I want to hear your input. Alright. Scenario. You are faced with a gelatinous cube. Your friend has been engulfed by it. What do you do?
Is this a multiple choice question?
No, this is D&D.
If it
If
it was my character,
yeah.
there. Well, I've got a pretty big sigh.
Mm.
Is it possible that I could cut the cube?
So you'd attack it. Yeah.
Or
It's not the route that I chose.
or even better, if I'm assuming, if the person's trapped inside the cube, are they like unable to move at all? Like not even grab something?
I was wondering why you were walking backwards. It's not that they're unable to move at all. They just have to make a saving throw in order to get out.
Right. So I reckon what I could do
Jeez, man.
thank you.
Holy shit.
I reckon I could use the handle of my weapon to puncture, and then the person trapped inside could probably grab it, and I could attempt to pull them out.
Okay, so you would just try and pull him out.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Because that's what I did. It got me killed.
Brutal.
Except I didn't have a weapon or anything to put into the cube. So I put my arm in the cube.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see where this has gone wrong.
Yeah, me and my 8 strength.
Why don't you just ask That's time for you to ask rules. Like, how do I accomplish it?
So,
Fair point.
if you can't hear,
Very much overlooked.
Blake has been outside watching the chat. And he's also getting annoyed at the fact that Alfredo here hasn't come up with a topic and has come in and given him topic ideas.
Ah.
So, I'm more than happy for this episode to be an absolute wash. Because
Just to
it's your
watch
choice,
me,
it's
just
your
to
turn.
watch me suffer.
That's right. It's your turn to choose a topic.
No. What are the basic rules of fighting a creature or a monster of some kind?
What do you mean, what are the basic rules?
Right. Actually, you know what? One of the things I feel like, well, I already have stopped myself on, is accidentally saying I'm doing multiple actions
Yes.
instead of the one.
Okay.
What are some tips that you have for new players that also have this issue, this habit?
Break it down into its base components and say that you're doing the first of those base components. So, from memory, what you were saying is like, oh, so when I'm attacking the monster, I could go, I'm gonna take my scythe and I'm gonna take my weapon, I'm gonna run at them, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna, flip and bring it down on them and use like my momentum to hit it.
Yeah.
So that could all be done in one turn,
Right.
but that would require a bunch of checks.
And checks are the rolls that you make
Yeah.
to.
So the checks would be make an athletics check.
Yeah.
To see how well you jump. See if you jump enough to be able to do this move that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding a big ass fucking weapon. Like, if you don't jump high enough and you try and spin it, it's
Yeah.
going to dig into the ground, right?
Yeah.
Then you're trying to do an acrobatic movement. So roll acrobatics.
Okay.
And I personally, after if you were to succeed on both of those rolls, I would then give you advantage on the attack. Rather than
Right.
making you roll 3 times and if any one of them fucks up, you just fuck up the whole thing because you're trying to do something cool. Because that leads to the whole thing of, okay, everybody stands in front of the monster and we hit it.
Yeah.
And then when we've hit it, we hit it again.
Yeah, because that would just get boring and
It
repetitive.
does. It gets quite monotonous.
Yeah.
Blue Infusion has a question for you.
Yes.
They ask, how do you magic, Alfredo?
Shit. How do I magic?
Question for you?
I'm assuming you will tell the DM that you want to cast a spell or something along those lines, and what spell it is, and based on the difficulty.
I was just thinking they're asking, how do you magic?
How do I magic?
You yourself. I know, it could be wrong. The question was very vague. How do you magic?
How do I magic?
Yeah, how do you magic?
Well, hey, the only two I could. Oh no.
You have no idea what's going on. It's amazing. Apparently there's an answer here too, and the answer is 192 PHP.
Dude, I'm so fucking lost.
Page 192 in the player's handbook.
What's the player's handbook?
The one that says player's handbook. I don't know which book.
What's
From
the
that tab over there with the D&D books. Find out what page 192 is. That's crap. I did offer to help get whatever the hell that was out of the car.
Is that your desk? Oh,
Yeah, new desk.
oh right.
Page B. Page 192.
192 of the first handle.
What's in it? Going off of your question though, if you're asking, how do you, what do you want to do? You're like, okay, well, I want to swing, I want to spin around and try and cut him again, and that's already more than one attack.
Right.
Because your attack is you trying to hit the thing, right? Yeah. So unless you have more than one attack, you can't. Yeah. So at your level, you won't have more than one attack. So there's not going to be any I'm going to try and whirlwind chop them kind of thing. Because you're only making one. Right. So you can swing at them, and on your next turn, I guess you can go, cool, and I spin around and I swing at them again. But it's one attack per turn, especially at your level. Yeah.
Casting a spell.
Ooh.
Spellcasters, such as wizard.
Yeah, when I was reading the book, we tried that before.
And clerics, as well as many monsters, have access to spells and can use them to great effect in combat.
Please remind me to never buy the audiobook that you read.
Each spell has a casting time.
And he keeps going.
Which specifies whether the caster must use an action, a reaction, minutes, or even hours to cast a spell. Casting a spell is, therefore, not necessarily an action. Most spells do have a casting time of
I totally did miss that one.
So a spellcaster often uses his or her action in combat to cast such a spell.
This is horrible.
See, chapter
Bloom
10.
Fusion has another question for you. How do you do a spell in the middle of combat? How would you? Don't look at the book.
Oh, how would I?
Yeah. Let's take this away from you. Because that was horrible.
Smite.
Well, Smite's not a spell.
Oh.
Smite's an ability.
Right.
There is a distinction.
Okay. What's the distinction?
When you look at Smite in the book,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't say that you cast it.
Okay.
So you don't cast it. There's some abilities.
I can cast Hindsight.
No, that is also not a spell. True Sight is a spell.
True Sight.
So let's go into Impairment here.
Was it True Sight or Hindsight, my paladin ability?
Neither one.
Oh, Sense.
Divine Sense?
Divine Sense.
Yeah.
God, I'm so stupid.
Alright, so here's the difference. With the Divine Smite, it says that you use a spell slot to deal radiant damage. Whereas if I go into the Warlock...
Well, that's a spell, if it takes a spell slot.
No, it's not. I like where you're going with this, but it's just not.
Technically.
So, if we go into the Warlock here, you get abilities like this.
Right.
Fiendish Vigor, you can cast False Life on yourself at will at first level without expending spell slot or material tokens. So you cast False Life. So what is False Life? Let's go into the back of the book. Find F. False Life, right here. First level Necromancy spell. Takes an action, lasts for 1 hour, and you gain 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. So that's an ability there that casts a spell.
Okay.
There's some...
So, a spell to cast in combat would be a spell that doesn't require an action.
What?
I think I'm just taking the question from it.
Okay, no. So the question is, how would you cast a spell?
How many spell slots do I have?
So,
I only have one at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many spell slots do you
See,
have?
I'm not as dumb
Let's
as
find
that.
it. So, what level are we starting at?
Level.
Are we?
Oh, wait. Ah,
Do you have Divine Smite yet or not?
No, no.
So, where do you get Divine Smite?
Oh, it's in there.
It's right there.
Ah, yes.
Sitting out above, like way out further than everything else. So you get Divine Smite level 2 when you get your first spells.
Right. Okay.
Right? Okay, so when you're in combat and you decide you want to cast a spell, there's many spells to choose from. Let's find the Paladin spell list because I'm not using the book for this because it's terrible. Paladin. So these are the kinds of spells you can cast. Right?
Okay, that's a level 1.
So let's assume that you want to cast the Bless spell.
Didn't I say level 1? I did say level 1.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm just asking him.
Dude, I'm literally about to have a stroke. Like, absolutely no idea.
Alright, so the way the Paladins work is they prepare spells. So you technically have access to every single one of these spells at the same time once you reach second level.
Oh.
Every single one of them. Right. But you choose a certain number of them each day, and that's what you can cast in that day.
I really need to download this now.
You do. So let's go Bless. This is probably one of the best spells that you have. What it does is you bless up to 3 creatures of your choice. So including yourself if you want, including teammates. You can bless enemies if you really want.
Oh.
Whenever a target makes an attack or a saving throw, whenever a target makes an attack or a saving throw before the roll ends, the target can roll a d4. Oh, sorry. Whenever a target of this spell. Yeah? So you choose 3 people. Whenever they either make an attack roll or a saving throw within the time limit, they roll a d4 alongside it. So we've spoken about how to do basically anything in the game.
Yeah.
So you want to attack the monster. What do you do? Roll what?
I think it depends on your weapon, doesn't it?
No.
Or your...
Always roll a d20.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because you're wanting to attack the monster.
Yeah, okay. No, okay, so what I was thinking of is the damage.
Damage roll. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so...
So the thing with attack rolls is you can miss, right?
Yeah.
If you miss, you never get to your damage roll.
Yeah.
So you as the paladin decide I'm going to bless myself and my allies.
Yeah.
What that says is every time you make an attack, you now roll a d20, and you also roll a d4. You add the d4 to the d20 roll. So you have a +1, +2, +3, or +4 to every attack you make whilst that spell is in effect.
Okay.
That's what
So
it does.
is this a so let's say my ally is doing his attack roll. Can I be like, no, what's the word for it? Not interrupt.
Reaction?
Yeah. So can I react in blessing?
No. Okay. So that is a good question, and it'll actually get us to something. So when you look back at the app, it's called casting time. That's one of the things that it. Your casting time is 1 action.
Right.
Okay. So your action is what you use to attack, to attempt to dodge, to dash. So move, double your movement.
So that means I need a roll for it?
No.
No.
So your action doesn't always require a roll.
Right.
But what this means is when you're casting this spell, as your action on your turn, you say that you would like to cast Bless.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So this wouldn't require a roll.
Right.
Because the spell itself says you do it. Right?
There's no, you could fuck it up.
Yeah.
You do it.
Whereas if we go to...
It's very much trying to read the language.
Yeah. No, it is.
Always hinting at 40. Because it's the only thing that I can kind of resonate with.
Yeah. Look, he'll get to it. Command, right? So you speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range, and the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. So if you were to use this spell instead of bless, you'd say, okay, I'm casting command.
Yeah.
This is the word that I'm using. It gives you a couple of examples here. And you tell your DM, you need to, whoever I'm targeting, that person needs to make a wisdom saving throw. So in this case, you're not rolling anything still.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's happening. Not like bless.
Yeah.
What happens is they'll roll a dice
Yeah.
and look at their sheet. If they succeed, nothing happens. If they fail, they do the thing that you told them to do. So the examples here are approach. The target moves towards you by the shortest and most direct route, ending its turn if it moves within 5 feet of you.
1 second, we got a question. Ultimate cluster. Did you get that one?
Nope, have not seen that yet. Hi, Ultimate Cluster, how are you doing? Would it be feasible for a godlike Bahamut showing up, save a party from getting completely murdered versus a high-level enemy? I call that an ex machina, and I feel like if you were putting the high-level enemy in there just to allow someone like Bahamut to show up and save them, you're taking away a lot of player agency. If it's like a story point, like a plot point, and it's going to be like this campaign centered around repaying, the god for what they did for you, then this is like a really good jumping off point. But if you're halfway through a campaign and you've put a monster up against the party and they're just absolutely not winning it, and you're just like, oh well, I'll have this thing come in, and then Bahamut asks the party to go questing. Sure, like that's introducing a plot hook.
Yeah, I believe that's completely
totally fine. If you're going to be bringing them into a fight that they were meant to be having, though, and they're just getting their asses handed to them, I feel like them dropping something in like that and going, oh, you're safe now, takes away a lot of the danger in the game.
Yeah.
If they're fighting against something and they're losing, there's a reason why they're losing.
Yeah, but if you were doing it solely just for the plot hook, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah,
because
100%.
what it means is that you've now got a demigod.
Yes.
Who is asking them for a quest, and Bahamut can also turn human.
Yes.
So
Bahamut's
you don't even have.
full god, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he's a demigod.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
I'm also
off the top of
not
my head.
very versed in D&D gods.
Like good gods. Evil gods,
Just
yeah.
in general.
But when because I think Tiamat's actually a demigod.
Again, I thought she was a god.
No, she's the mother of all dragons.
Yeah.
So you could always do it as like he's come and he's like he stops them from dying because he needs them specifically.
Yeah.
And I think that actually makes for a very interesting like plot hook. What type of quest would it be? If you want to, you can always we have a Discord that you can actually jump into where you can ask questions and talk about the story in real time if you like. Where we talk back.
Anyway, as I was getting to, the problem with this is if you use it too much and you take the danger out of the game, it kind of comes across like you're playing the game for your players, or you're playing the game and putting them in situations that they can't win on their own just so that you can come bail them out.
It would be great if you kept throwing in that god to save them, and then just out of nowhere.
But that's my point.
And then they get really lax with it.
Oh, okay.
And then you're just
He's not
what are you
coming.
doing? He's not showing up.
But you're also trapping them at that point.
That is true.
So it's at that point it's less of a game mechanic that you've come up with and more of a gotcha, now you're dead. And it is so easy for a DM to kill an entire party because you run the monsters but you also create the game. I could put in front of you a squirrel and have it, bite your character and be like, cool, it does 2d20 damage. It's not realistic, but say it happens. Or, let's use an animal I know. I know that the owl does 1 slashing damage when it hits. Yeah.
So
I
just
could be
like one
cool.
day you piss off an owl by accident.
Yeah. But what they could do is go, okay, you piss off an owl, and it's going to come and attack you.
Yeah.
All right, it missed. It's not got a very high to hit value. And you're all like, yeah, it's fine, it's just an owl, whatever. And then it comes back again for another attack, and this time it hits you.
Yeah.
Deals 1 damage. You're like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll turn around and I'll fire an arrow at it. You roll, I'm like, cool. It hits. Now has 1 hit point. By the book. Roll damage. You roll your damage and you're like, okay, I deal 13 damage to it. You're like, okay, cool. It's the owl's turn. Because just because the book says that it dies here doesn't mean that it has to die here, right? You literally create the game world.
Right.
So it is so easy for a DM that isn't taking the game seriously to just kill a party.
Right.
Because you could use anything and you'd be like, no, it doesn't die here.
Yeah.
Or it does this ridiculous amount of damage and it kills you. Or I could just narrate use walking.
Yeah.
Be like, cool, a piano falls.
I was literally thinking that for like the past
Like-
5 minutes. I was like, yeah, what if the DM just goes, oh, piano falls on you?
Yeah.
Just in my head, just replay.
But like, that's exactly the point. Like, you could, you could do it.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing stopping them from doing it, except for the fact that you want there to be players playing in your game. And if I'm gonna just do that every session and have you come to the table with a new character every session, you don't get to do anything, you just die.
You just have something
You're
like
just gonna stop playing.
every second session is called the piano purge. At some point, at some
Well, you
time,
know what I mean,
a piano's gonna fall on someone.
But like, you're just gonna stop playing, right?
Yeah.
So
Um,
the job of the DM isn't to be a player in their game. It's to give the others a game to play. Yes, the DM
Yeah.
does have to pull some lore accurate, or at least accurate in their own world stunts to get the party to do something. That is very true a lot of the time. I know it's happened in our first campaign quite a few times, where just nothing was happening, and we're fucking around in a town for like 3.5 weeks. And so my DM was like, hey, guess what? The town's burning because something attacked it. And, that is definitely something that'll get them actually moving.
yeah, been like,
But it's not something where you're like, okay, you're all annoying me because you're not doing anything. A piano falls. And
Yeah.
you die. A dwarf owlbear falls from a tree and lands on you. Okay. So, I don't like that for one specific reason, Blue. And it's because you didn't call it a drop bear. That is it. That is literally my only problem with that. It's not an owlbear. It's a drop.
Would this make sense, right? You're walking through.
Yeah, that is the exact point of that scenario. You can either A, let the town burn, B, just keep fucking around, go, this is fine, or C, you can help the town. That really is your choices. Like, do you have a choice that's outside of those?
I don't think so, no.
Everything you do is going to fall within that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There is one more option you could have there. I could help burn it to the ground.
It's letting it burn. It's part of the same thing.
No, it's not letting it burn anymore.
It's
You're not watching
it's
it burn,
actively
you're
committing a
actively
felony.
burning it. Drop air
Is
might have
that-
been applied,
Is that a cup holder?
but amazing. Drop bait may have been implied, but we've got to let people know that don't know about drop bait. We've got to tell them.
It looks a little big.
Looks like
It does.
You feel ridiculous.
Would this make sense?
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, it would make sense. Continue with your question.
I know. Okay, so let's say your party is walking through a forest, like with all these like dead trees, which is like a spooky forest or whatever. Would it make sense if a twig fell from one of those trees and scratched one of the party members' eyes? Maybe one that's like that needs sight like more heavily than everyone
You want
else.
to be a complete fucking asshole.
And then has like vision impairment for a battle that's coming up.
If vision impairment is a real thing that
Yeah.
you can gain in this,
Yeah.
you can lose like limbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But my question there is, what use would that have?
Well, that's why I mentioned maybe it hits the party member that had like I don't know has
If the
an
DM
ability or whatever that he's more reliant on his vision to be able to use his ability to its full potential.
But what does that accomplish?
Are you
It-
trying
it-
to say to depower a player?
Like it takes.
So okay, so there's a word for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depower.
But
Is
it
depowering a
takes-
player looked down upon as a DM?
It depends
Depends
on
on how you do it.
There are
If you
some
did it
DMs,
like that, I'd be pissed at you.
There's some DMs that just do that because they can't handle the player instead of just talking
Yeah.
to the player.
Right.
And it's a wrong way to approach it. Like a really wrong way.
Can the clerics instantly fix the damage? Again, depends on your DM, because if they're willing to pull that shit, they'd probably go,
Nah.
no, he's either gone, you can't regrow.
He has a twig growing out of his eye right now.
you,
Like,
you
there's
can't regrow
no hope.
eyes, you can only close wounds.
You now have a blind party member.
Well, there's blindside.
There is blindside. It's very hard to get.
It's a thing that allows you to, when you're blind, to like pretty much almost be like Daredevil, but just great.
It is a dick move. Imagine if someone crushed your hand right before you had to go to work. It's just a dick move. And it is.
I wouldn't mind that day off work.
But, like, it's the thought of it.
yeah.
If you don't
I
have
understand.
any agency in this happening,
Well,
is it really fun that I go, cool, now you're blind to this upcoming fight? So there's nothing fun about it. If it's a consequence of something that you as the character have done,
Yeah.
like when my character died, I literally put my hand into the gelatinous cube. I was trying to save my friend,
Yeah.
and I got caught in it because I put my arm into it trying to pull them out.
Yeah.
That's on me. The DM didn't go, cool. Start of the session,
I didn't want him to die.
but he didn't go, cool, start of the session, you get pulled in. Like, when we left the session, it was, I just put my arm in and failed the check to deployment.
Right.
That's what had happened. We could have gone into it and gone, alright, so where we left off, you just reached your arm in and tried to pull him out of it. It sucks you all the rest of the way in. Because you failed.
Right.
Could have done it. 100% would have been, thematic.
Okay.
But it would have been a dick move.
Even as the DM, I was just trying to figure out ways that I could help them,
Yeah.
but without interfering.
Yeah.
And even when I rolled a natural 20, I had a rule that I had to come up with.
Yeah. But that's the point. So if it's a consequence of something that you've done, then you kind of can't get it.
Yeah, you can't just be like, hey,
If I put you into that situation and went, now you're blind, not because you did anything, but just because I wanted to make this fight harder for you.
Yeah.
You go into that fight going, well, fuck this guy. And not the guy you're about to fight, me, as the person running the game. Right?
Yeah.
So, it's... When you're playing the game, the Dungeon Master plays the enemies. They're not your enemy.
Yeah.
Because they also play all the people that help you.
Right.
They exist as the world itself. You interact with them to interact with the world.
So would it be considered meta if
What do you mean chat setting? Blue. Like sensor.
What's auto sensor? Oh, censoring.
like swearing?
Oh, I do.
I'm pretty sure I turned mine off, but it's back on.
Yeah.
I don't know how to find it. It's fine. I'll do it later.
So
Yeah, I don't know what that one. I don't know what that word is because got no content, no context. Because I did something, some four-letter
Oh, I
word,
think he said dick.
maybe.
Because we're up at top of the dick move.
Oh, because yeah, okay, yeah, because I go dick. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Jacob, why don't you just run a dungeon next month?
I'm considering it.
So that way Evan just gets to
I feel like I need that experience of playing
just the dungeon.
just a dungeon
Just
or
the dungeon, not,
whatever,
Not the like session 0 crap. Just the dungeon.
or even
I'm just
going
considering
on a walk.
doing the set zero thing.
The
The
reason why I'm saying the dungeon is just so that way you can understand mechanics before.
Yeah.
Just that should do it. Yeah.
It's I'm still very very blind.
Yes.
To
You're
this.
very, very greedy.
Yeah.
that's less of doing something before an encounter, Ultima, and that's more of a quest itself. That being said, not permanently, temporarily taking a player and just saying, right, you don't get to do anything now, is, in my eyes, the worst way to start a quest, because they didn't do it themselves. If they went and fought this, went and investigated this tree that you've already set up to be cursed and evil and blah blah blah, and then it, makes an attack roll at them, firing branches out everywhere, and they get hit, sure, they put themselves into the situation. If you just go,
I'm
cool,
gonna
it
mute
happened,
myself.
then it comes across as a dick move, and it's not fun for the player that's now been taken out of the game. Or, maybe you'll get a player that does enjoy it. But I feel like for the most part, when you just hand wave it and now it happens and now you're out of this for the moment, it always kind of comes across as a bit of a feel.
I've muted me. I thought we don't use me.
Use a close NPC to get hit by the curse twig. Yeah. So if you do it to an NPC, the party is now invested, especially seeing as it's someone that they're close to,
If they like them.
and they want to go out of their way to help. That becomes a quest. The NPC wasn't a player; they're not sitting out, not doing anything now. But you have a plot hook.
Well, remember when I kidnapped you?
Yeah, it sucked.
You didn't play for me.
I don't think that came up.
That's right.
Blake behind the computer said, "Yeah, do you remember when I kidnapped you? You didn't play for a month," which is exactly the point. It sucked, and I hated it.
Because your life was in the other player's hands.
Yeah, I was finishing my donut. You said because my life was in other players' hands, and it really was. And it stayed in one particular player's hands. And then I died because of what that one particular player did. So the whole kidnapping thing just sucked the whole time. That's a story for another day. But yeah, I would probably not recommend just saying this happens to a player character. I like the idea of doing it to an NPC. That works a lot better.
I think I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
The topic.
What's the topic?
How can I?
What's the topic an hour in?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, come on.
You remember that?
I'm here to talk shit.
No.
I really am.
So how can I make the game for myself go as smoothly as possible at all times?
Consider what your trying to do, and how is it gonna like go 100% south? If you come to a cliff and you go, this might be fun, I jump off, you're not gonna have fun because you're making blatantly stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Instead, maybe ask questions. Is there, like, you know, handhelds or like rocks jutting out that I could climb down this cliff?
So are these questions that you can just straight up ask the DM?
Sure.
So
Because that's building the world.
It's your environment.
It's building the world. So if I tell you, you know, you come to, you're on your journey, you've been walking along this road for 3 days, whatever, and you come to this chasm that has literally split the road into 2 parts, and you look down and it seems like it's going to be like a 300-meter drop.
right.
You know, I put a problem in front of you. If you go, well, fuck it, we've got to get down there to get back up the other side, jump down.
You're an idiot.
You know, that's exactly the point. You're not going to have a great time.
See,
But if you go, okay, well, my thought is the road's been split. Is there anything I can see on either side that I can just go around it?
Yeah.
I might just go, yeah, this is basically a meteor hit here, and now there's this giant crater, but you can see 500 meters that way,
If you never asked,
so you can just walk around it.
Okay, so that's good because I felt like
Yeah.
I had to go through this without like asking many quick. Because
No.
I felt like
The whole game is just asking questions and
Yeah.
answering questions.
I think I had this preconceived notion that like if I spoke to the DM like out of character to like get my surroundings in check, that it'd be seen as kind of like meta.
No, because you're
What do you
asking
think?
what you see.
what do I
Right. Okay.
So just because I put something in front of you, doesn't mean that that's the only thing that's there.
There's something I do in my day, I don't know if Jacob will, if you want, what I call DM questions.
Okay.
DM questions are questions that you believe might be better, and they can answer it anyway.
Yeah.
So I give them one perfect answer.
Right.
So that way, in case like you're stuck and you don't know what to do,
Yeah.
the DM will give you suggestions.
Okay. That's
And look, you're new. I'm not gonna shoot you down for asking questions.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the whole game of D&D is asking questions.
yeah. Okay.
Like even if you go into combat, right? I want to hit the thing. All right, cool. Roll me a dice. So you roll dice. Did you hit? Yes. How much damage did you do? You roll more dice. Four damage. That's your answer to me asking you how much damage did you do. The whole game is asking questions. If you come to this chasm and you just go, well, I know there's a chasm there. I'll climb down the chasm. You can do that. I don't think you can do that.
Alright.
But if you just ask what's to the left, might say there's a bridge that goes across.
But you can be more specific with questions. Like, do I see someone that fits this description that you described?
Yeah.
And he might go wrong in check.
But the whole game
This
is
is
just asking questions, finding out more information, figuring out what else is there, and making a decision.
this is the big missing piece that was in my head.
Yeah.
Was about questions.
Yeah. The more questions you ask, the more you'll understand about the world that you're
Yeah.
in.
Okay. Cool.
Because you're playing a character that exists in the world. You're playing a character that exists in the world, right?
Yeah.
So just because you walk forward, like tunnel vision, and you go, cool, chasm. You could just go, all right, well, back where we came from, was there anything back there that was interesting? Because we've skipped through some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is like 3 days later, you're at this chasm.
You can't just backtrack 3 days.
I mean, like, you could just go, all right, well, was there anything on the way that I might be able to use to scale it? Or to get across? Or to, oh yeah, cool, there was a bunch of, like, downed trees that you could probably use to, let's say it's not fucking 300 meters, but it's a 2 or 3 meter gap.
Yeah.
Like, too much for you to jump, probably.
Yeah.
Or you could try.
Well, one of the
Or you could go, cool, there's a tree that's been felled back there.
I can
You
drag
know,
it and
try and drag it and
Yeah.
keep it across and crawl across the tree.
there's like for instance, they were doing a lot of things in each room. But if they had just rolled a perception check in that room, they would have seen the cube if they rolled high enough. But they didn't.
So I could roll a check as well.
Correct.
Not just-
Everyone does.
Yeah.
So if someone says something and goes, and they say roll a check, you go, yeah, I want to look for the same thing as well.
They could also roll.
They could turn to you and go, "Oi, I'm looking for this." You go, "I'm going to do a roll to see if I see it."
Yeah.
So they might not, but you might, and then you can just go, "Oi, over there."
So that's where you use meta knowledge, though, because you don't want to go. Okay, we walk in, and like Blake makes a suggestion. He's like, "I want to have a look. I want to check for traps."
Yeah.
You know, we're in a dungeon. I want to see if there's if the place is trapped. I have a bad feeling about this hallway. All right, well, roll me a check to look for them. And he rolls them, and I'm not even getting into specifics now.
Yeah.
But he rolled his check, and he rolls a natural one.
Right.
Probably not going to be seeing a lot, if anything, right?
But again, you could turn around and
But
go,
if you then go, oh well, he rolled a 1, so maybe I'll look for it. That's using meta knowledge, going he rolled badly, so we didn't get the information we're looking for.
But if you see, but the way you get around it is that you see me, and I'm looking around, going, you're like, "What are you looking for?" And I tell you, that's what changed.
Yeah.
So I
Ah.
already told you in game.
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
It's not about finding loopholes. It's
Yeah,
about, it's about
oh,
making it something that you,
Making
as
it-
your character, would have done
Yeah.
without going, oh, but you rolled a 1, so we didn't get the information we're looking for, so I'll try to.
I think that's where the
If
immersion
you're
comes
just
in.
doing that, and
Yeah.
like, let's say you're playing as a character that just doesn't care for details,
Right.
and we're trying to find something very specific, and you're like, oh yeah, I would be able to find that. I want to give it a shot too. Like, it doesn't make any sense because you've never looked for anything detailed in your life, right?
Yeah.
You walk over to the monster and you punch the monster. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You've never been one to try and solve the puzzle because you're playing a really low intelligence character. And like, this slide puzzle here is just beyond me, but no one's been able to do it because no one's been able to figure it out as their character.
Right.
You're like, oh, stuff it, I'll try it too because everyone's rolled low, and then you roll high, and it's like, oh, well, I guess you've done it then, haven't you? Like, it's meta knowledge, and that's the kinds of things that you should be trying to do.
Right.
But asking questions, 100%, always do.
Cool.
I'd rather ask the DM whether they have a dungeon ready or not before going there blind. What do you mean? Like, when investigating somewhere, is this a dungeon? I mean, you could ask.
I feel like it's weird.
You could.
Is the dungeon ready? Oh, sorry, no, the dungeon's under construction. Come back later.
No, if it's like that, is the dungeon ready? Like, are you ready for us to travel through here? Or do you need more time to set up the dungeon? Kind of thing? Maybe?
But you walk up to the dungeon, you look at the door,
The
you see a
DM
bright...
always said
you
yes, even
you
if
see-
it's not. You're not 100% wrong, Blue. That is a very big thing where you just go, no, the dungeon isn't ready. Why? What are you expecting to find there? And they say something, you're like, cool, that's what's there now. And you add it to your notes.
You walk over to the
The
entrance.
best way of creating the world.
I make up goes.
You walk over to the dungeon entrance.
The-
You
the
see a
DM
big
players-
construction fence that says "Danger, do not enter." Under construction.
Yeah, you might. What do you do? Are you gonna go in, or are you gonna leave? It's just an under construction sign.
You try and open the dungeon door. It's locked. It's boarded up with a sign that says "Under construction."
Oh, okay.
Don't-
Yeah, so it is about crap. That's the thing. Some of the best interactions we've had in dungeons and dungeon-esque places. The thing that we found has been the guess that one of the players had. And it's been because there was nothing populating it beforehand. When they said it, our DM's just like, yeah, you know what? That is a pretty good idea. And so you walk in and you look around and guess what you find, the thing that you guessed. It really is just a great way of doing it though. Because you set up the the players to think that they've outsmarted you when you didn't prepare anything in the first place.
I prepared shit and I go, yeah.
Yeah, your idea is better than mine, isn't it? 100% I think that'll happen.
What's that cable for?
What cable? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're stuck in a void.
You can see it.
We're stuck in a void. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's
Nothing's
nothing.
happening around us.
It's straight nothing. It's nothingness in front of me.
No, nothing is
It's all
behind
black.
us. They can see it. They can see the.
Oh.
There is no help in the void.
Sorry, there's a sign here that says under construction.
Under construction.
Do not enter. Shucks, I guess I just turn around and I'll try and jump the fence.
Alright, so that's another thing that you don't do. Don't go, I'm gonna do this and roll the die immediately.
You need permission.
Yeah.
If you just do that, you will get yourself in trouble.
And you will just wait
Like-
to roll.
Yes.
Mm.
Because
If you roll good, they're gonna make you reroll.
you're like, I'm gonna jump over the chasm and roll at natural 20. Cool, I didn't ask you for a roll.
I could have said you didn't need to roll. You just jumped
Maybe
over.
I
Could've.
didn't tell you how
Could've.
far the chasm was.
Or if you're like, I'm gonna jump the chasm roll, nat 1, I'm like, huh, cool, alright.
These are
You-
things that I
you-
need to know.
Yeah, but
Look, I just did that.
yeah, exactly. But that's the whole point. Because you're playing a game in your mind,
Yeah.
you need to give everyone else time to catch up on the scene.
Right.
So if you're like, okay, I'd like to try and jump over to the other side, then you just roll. Someone else might have been sitting there going, okay, so I have an idea here, and you've just jumped in and done it.
Yeah.
Can be funny. You can do it in the character moment. I've done it myself. But you may miss out on things that other people are doing. And you may just get punished for doing it.
How do I know the difference between a character moment and then accidentally being a dickhead?
By paying attention to the players that you play with.
Right.
When you're doing it on purpose, and you know you're probably going to fail, you're doing it as a player moment.
Right. Okay.
If you just decide, I'm doing this, and you don't give any thought to it, you don't ask any questions about it, and you get seriously injured in game, it was probably just because you didn't ask any questions about it.
Right. Okay.
You were told that there was something beyond the tree line. You're like, I'm just gonna go and hit it. Like, all right, cool. So the thing was definitely way more powerful than you, and you just ran into it.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
So, okay, use that same example. What would be the difference between a character moment and what you just mentioned?
The difference is when you've finished. How can we get described? There's something in the bushes. You're like, oh, I'm gonna run in. Well, there's something in the bushes and it's staring at you. It's menacing. And all you can see are these glowing eyes that follow you wherever you step. It sounds a lot more intense than there's something in there, I'm gonna go and hit it. It gives you a sense of, okay, this thing's watching me and this thing's stalking me. I'm not the predator here, I'm the prey. It's the Yeti.
Right.
But if you know that you're the prey and you go, yeah, I'd probably still try and hit it, and you get yourself into that situation, that's on you. Like, you did it to the character thing. I don't know, let's say that your character is a hunter of exotic beasts and you've not seen anything with glowing eyes like this before. So like, stuff it, I'm gonna see what happens.
Right, okay.
Whereas if you ask some questions and you try and investigate what it is, maybe you creep closer and see if you can get a better look, you've completely avoided this whole situation because you're thinking in terms of what your character would do. Because I don't know about you, but if I see glowing eyes looking at me from just beyond the tree line, I'm probably going that way.
Yeah.
Or if I'm feeling especially brave, I might creep a little bit closer, not get too close, but see if I can get a better look at it.
Right. Okay.
So that's the difference. One, you're in a game. One, you're playing the game. It's immersing yourself.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So at any point you can choose to do the stupid thing. The more information you have before doing the stupid thing, the better.
So in simple terms, if you don't know anything and you do it haha goofy, you look like a dickhead. But if you know everything about this
You know
situation,
that this is going to be a bad idea,
but you do
and you
it
just
anyway.
decide that like this is just something my character would do. So going back to the gelatinous cube,
Yeah.
when he walked in, I made a check to see if I knew what it was. I rolled a natural 20, and he said, "You know what? You know everything that you as a player know about this creature," because he knew I knew a lot about these things.
Yeah.
So cool. My character knows basically everything about a gelatinous cube, and I said, he's stuck in it, and I know that he's gonna die quite quickly if I just leave him in there. So I'm gonna do the stupid thing, and I'm gonna put my arm in it to try and pull him out.
Right.
That's a character move.
Yeah. Okay, this all makes sense. It's all starting to come together. In my
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love it
This
when a
is
plan
this is
comes together.
segue. This is segued perfectly. I'm glad I took that hour to try and figure out the fucking topic.
So, all right. Is there anything else that you've been wondering about? Because apparently, with all the chats we've had about D&D, on and off the podcast, you've never brought up about asking questions, and how many questions is too many questions. So is there anything else you've been sitting on that you're just like, fuck, that's a stupid question. I'm not
Look,
asking
the
that."
the only reason why I palmed that off is because I had the feeling that it's like, if I'm gonna be immersed in this game, then I shouldn't ask any questions and just live in the moment that's happening in the game.
Yeah.
That was my that was my thought process going into this. So that's why I thought asking questions was like, to the DM, was like, well, that's fucking stupid. That's meta as fuck. Like, why would you do that?
No, because asking the question is you interacting with the world.
Yeah.
It's like another example for that is when you walk around the corner over there, and you get to the end there and it turns. Do you turn, go in, take a step forward, and there's a wall there, and go, there's just a wall here, and then walk backwards and then come out and not investigate what's down the other two corridors? Or do you go, I wonder what else is here, and you look to your left, and you look to your right, and you go, hey, there's corridors.
Okay. Yeah. So
That's you asking the question.
right.
Because when I'm narrating it, I'm going to narrate what's in front of me.
Not
There's no reason for me to say, okay, so you walk into the building, and there's 3 doors that come out of it, and beyond those doors there's this, and beyond that is this.
then that would just be
Because
too
I'm-
much to process.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you what's in front of you, and I'll tell you that there's 3 doors in this room that you see.
Okay.
If you want to investigate what's behind one of those doors, you say you want to go and investigate what's behind the door.
Yeah. So
And as you open the
Don't-
door, I'll tell you what's next.
Don't look too deep into some things he says.
Yeah. There,
that's another thing.
that's player advice.
Yeah.
So I might tell you that,
Like trying to look for clues inside what he's saying.
yeah. So your character's been given a choice. You've won a bet, and you can choose one of 2 pouches as your prize. One of them looks like a fairly ordinary coin purse. The other one looks like it's a bit more beaten up, a bit more ragged. It's got a hole in the side. Which one do you choose?
The mystery box.
Like, which one do you choose?
I'll probably go with the ordinary, but
Yeah. Okay. So that's you not looking too deep into what I'm trying to do, because I'm describing one as fairly ordinary,
yeah.
but I'm giving you a lot more detail on the other one,
Ah.
and you might be like,
Hey,
oh,
Rob.
but if he's describing this one more, like, yeah, it looks like shit, but there's
then-
got to be
there
something
might be
there.
something about it.
And so when you pick it up, I'm like, cool, it's
It's
got a hole
jump
in it.
into the ReadySetRoll Discord podcast
There's
lobby.
nothing.
half of the money that you would have gotten
One
otherwise,
sec.
because you chose the ratty one with the holes in it.
Yeah. I think this is more of a intelligence question when it comes to D&D.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm in a dungeon and I go into this room and you describe the room as just
So
having
jump in the podcast lobby.
3 walls,
Yep.
one in front of you, one to your left, one to your right, and then the hallway that you just walked in from.
Yep.
Would it be unlike my character if he was just like, I don't know, like a normal human that had a sword or whatever, to be like, what are the walls made out of? And the DM goes, oh, they're made of bricks, right?
Yeah.
So any rational person would say it's an empty room with bricks on the walls. Would it make sense to be like, all right, I'm going to start pressing on these tiles because there might be a secret door here?
Sure.
What do you think, Rob?
Why wouldn't it be something you might do?
Look,
That's the question you got to ask.
I feel
Why
like that.
wouldn't it be something you
Okay,
would do?
I feel like that'd be based on intelligence stat. So let's say my character had low intelligence stat.
Yeah.
Would it still be considered like make sense if I was like, oh, I'm gonna
Too
start?
big brain to try and do it?
One
Not
second.
really.
Yeah.
1 second. So I brought Major Blazer into the chat
Okay.
because Major Blazer is someone who found it hard at first to actually envision everything.
Okay.
So Rob,
He's also very good at playing a very dumb character and not being completely useless.
Robert, you're on the podcast.
Hello?
say anything?
He's there.
Is he actually there though?
Yeah, he's in the podcast. What are you doing?
I can hear something very, very low.
Oh no, that's my phone.
I thought maybe just the volume wasn't turned up. Context. Did you walk along a long corridor to this
Rob.
empty room? Is there a reason you would think there's a secret door there?
Well, I'd be.
That is a very good question.
It would be under the assumption that I've walked down this corridor into this room that literally has absolutely nothing in it.
Yeah.
Why would there be a room there?
What's
Hello.
the point of being
There he
here?
is. There he is.
Like,
We hear him now.
exploring this dungeon.
Well,
Checking
if
out
you're
all the rooms.
exploring a dungeon,
Alright.
there might be a
Guys.
very good reason to think that there might be a secret door here.
Guys,
Aha. Yes.
he's alright. So Rob,
Finally got him working.
Finally got him.
what was one of the ways that you could actually immerse yourself in the game when you didn't have like all the dungeon tiles and stuff?
Well, we're going back a long time ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, no, it's hard to explain, but it's more of a. I'm looking at the sort of see what. Yeah, when you're explaining everything, and it's in my head, sort of, I don't know, sort of, I don't know what to call it, and sort of a picture.
Kind of like reading a book.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly like reading.
As you're reading, you're sort of world building as you're reading.
Yeah.
That's the quality.
Yeah, what happened with that? I thought you had good quality mics and all the rest.
I'm in my car.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it sounds like he's in a car.
There you go. That's the reason. Very good reason. So yeah, I mean, even that gives you a really good idea as to why you
Yeah, no,
might
that's a good
go and
idea.
look for a secret door. You don't necessarily have to tell me that you're pushing all the tiles.
You just ignored Rob.
I didn't even hear him say anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, because he said, "How you going?" and you started speaking.
I literally didn't hear how you go. Mate, I'm on top of the world. How are you? See, that got loud again. I don't know why it's only loud enough for me to hear it sometimes.
Because you stopped talking.
I'm always talking.
He never shuts up.
That's why you got off the podcast.
Like, off the podcast.
Yeah, so you don't necessarily need to be like, okay, so I'm going to go and press on all of the bricks to see if they open a secret room. You can make an investigation check to see if you can find any secret rooms.
Hey, Rob.
If you're going to be really specific about looking at the bricks, and the way to get into the secret room is actually a step on a specific tile on the floor, or like a specific stone on the floor, you're never going to find it.
So there's literally a secret room.
There
Rob,
might be.
There might be.
Yeah.
any advice for Evan?
Play as yourself. It's the character you could do.
See, I was thinking that. That's really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's really good.
It literally is the best advice.
Because I
Rob's
was.
best character he's ever played has literally just been him reacting to things.
Because I've always been overthinking, like, oh, I need to play someone else that isn't me.
No.
No, but that's
I
okay.
mean,
That's really good.
If something ever says a bad idea, you want to go ahead with it. Don't it's the perfect thing to mind you.
That's Rob playing as Rob.
To reinforce your decisions.
Look, yeah, you think once, act twice. That's it.
It's like Blue Infusion says, I love this. It's like watching late night call-in shows from the 90s.
That was the point.
Like those Christian ones, and then
Oh
people
no,
would
I
be
think it's
prank
more
calling
specifically
them.
because his quality is really shit right now.
Yeah, we're just on the radio. You know when they get people calling on the phone?
Yeah.
That's it. It's awesome.
Rob, what's
So-
your favorite D&D story?
Look, there's so many.
You're right.
On the street. It involved me and someone else in a bar during the bar fight.
Yeah.
Can't really get the details, it's very graphic.
We'll do it.
You won't do it, you're scared.
Oh no, I know the fucking story.
Yeah, so playing was in the campaign, playing the road.
Yeah.
No, it's not playing a ranger.
Wow, getting the story wrong already.
Jesus.
I'm not sure. Is it okay if I explain the whole story like you do with it?
This is
Anyway.
not PG. Like,
Anyway,
this podcast
back to
is
your
not PG.
story.
I was playing, so my very first character I was playing for 3 years when I first started.
Yep.
I played for the druid. I ended up randomly generating an Atlas, which kind of worked with it.
I thought it was
And,
Alfredo.
one of the played a character called Lila.
Yep.
And she was a bit of a bicycle, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Blake walked up to the rap jar and an orc with us. And we're in the tavern, just taking a break from a mission, having some drinks and just sort of having a relaxing night out like you would do, between different missions and quests. And then three people walked in. There was a very small dwarf. And
Very small
two
dwarf.
other
I feel like that's important. There's a very small dwarf and 3 others.
Yeah, that was quite hard. So all was about 7 foot, and the other guy was about 4.5 foot.
Yep.
So the little dwarf decided to try to pick a fight with the 7 foot dwarf.
Yep.
And the other 2 guys were picking a fight with Blake. So while all that was happening, the other character, Lilith, decided to try and cause a distraction and take off her clothes, jump off on the table.
Yeah.
Ended up rolling an natural 1. So she slipped and fell on her ass with, all the bits hanging out.
Yeah.
And then my turn came around and I put the female through it. I decided to zero and mount Lilith.
Yeah.
And I think it was a total of 18 or 19 I rolled, so they're pretty good. And we started up like a little show in the middle of this pathway.
Yeah.
And because I did a decent roll on my charisma, we ended up distracting the flight and causing everyone to sort of stop what they're doing and watch the two girls on the floor.
By the way, I was getting my ass whooped by this fucking fork.
and then all of a sudden it just stops.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where they hold me and then they're like,
They're holding you and they're holding your arm and they're going, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
The only thing that sucked about that story was all the conflict and everything ended before my next.
All the what, sorry?
Everything, like all the conflict and the happened
Yeah.
before my next encounter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What I learned was to shape my quarter staff into a little toy.
You cutting out, bro. You shapeshift what?
My quarter staff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, into a someone to do it, and
Yeah, right.
the DM quickly stopped that.
Yes. I can imagine that being something that you would very quickly stop and go, okay, let's not continue this any longer.
Oh, fuck.
You've broken Alfredo. He's got his head in his hands. Amazing.
What the fuck?
That's the kind of shit you can do in D&D.
Oh.
Whatever you can think
You can do
of.
anything, I guess.
Whatever you can think of.
you break them.
Yeah. Well, yes. You find the barriers and you go, okay, that's where the line is, and you run at it head first. If you roll.
Yeah, 100%.
Alright, so the other thing, your unintelligent character, let's say.
Which one?
No, I was gonna go with Bang, but you know. Yeah. Because you had a low intelligence, did that mean you couldn't be of any help to the party?
No, I was an awesome help to them. Just in some ways more than others.
That's right.
So one came up to a part where it's like, oh, this didn't work. You got to do, this, and this. And then immediately that's not talking. I have an intelligence score of 8. I don't know.
The team that started the game knew it.
Yeah. That was his character moment where he's like, how about if I don't know it? Even though I myself know the problem to the puzzle. So you can 100% say, you know what, no, I don't know it. You can't say, I do know it, if you don't know it.
I feel
You'd
like
have to make a check.
I feel like I'd be screaming inside if I knew about something.
Oh, the reason why he knew it was also because he did it a week prior.
Yeah, like I'd be
That's it.
screaming inside.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it's not like you never discovered anything within a dungeon.
Yeah.
Just because you've got lower intelligence didn't mean that you couldn't go, yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's a secret door here because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Like, common sense plays a big role in it.
Yes.
If you have a low intelligence score, but it's very simply obvious that there is a door there, you just can be like the door there and see.
Okay, so common
You
sense
can't-
doesn't play a part.
100% there.
No.
Okay.
Like, so that was the point of you going, oh, well, like, I'm not a very smart guy, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a secret door here. Just asking for if I find one count as metagaming? Not really. Because you've walked to the end of this corridor, and you're now in an empty room, and there's nowhere to go anywhere, except for back where you came from and outside the dungeon.
Yeah.
There's very clearly a secret passageway somewhere here where you can continue. So you look for it. If you don't find it, it may be that there wasn't one, or it may be that you just didn't.
Guess you never know.
You didn't roll well enough to be able to find it.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's something you come back to later.
So I can go up to another one of my party members like, hey, there's this room.
Yeah.
I think there might be a secret door.
Yeah.
Do you want to check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they might be better at that role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone has a part in the party to play.
Yes.
Right.
It's like
Every role
It's
doesn't have to
literally
be
a
your
kitchen.
own. You can go and talk to someone who you know will be better and get them to do the role instead.
Yeah.
Like, we would get Bang to just go into a room and see if it was trapped. Because he would do it.
no one was good at checking. He was willing.
So
He
you
was
could
just willing.
be a total dick, right? And
Yeah.
be like, oh, I want to check for traps. Oh, there's a trap here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't know if this room's trapped or not. Do you want to go check it out?
And that's where you as a player have to be sure not to be a metagame
Yes.
and pretend like and go, oh no, I know, like you just played it.
Yes, the helper action is a thing to give advantage on a roll. But not really what we're talking about. So Rob,
Door.
yeah,
But in saying that, so if you're playing with the rogue and you check the door for a trap, or a check for a trap before opening it, and then you find that there's a trap there, you can tell everybody that it's safe to open.
yeah, you can do it.
It's
If you keep doing it, they're gonna wise up. But you can 100% do it. So, like, if Rob were to check for a trap, and I told him, yeah, there's a trap there, and he turns to you and says, there's no trap, you can't go, but he said there was. Because I'm not here, I'm narrating what's happening. I'm not telling your character that there's a trap there. You didn't look for the trap. How would you know that there's a trap? The person who looked for it said there is none. So as far as you know, there is no trap.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, you 100% can play that character. Rob, why don't you tell everyone how you used to go fishing?
Oh, right. Fishing was the best in the day. So we were in a World Cup, by a lot of water, like a pirate sort of camp.
Yeah.
And
We had our own
whenever
boat.
you're on the boat, whenever you're on the boat, or you try to think of something you can do to sort of pass the time. Because if you're sailing from one island to another, it takes 18 hours to get there. You're not just going to sit there and scratch your butt the whole time.
I don't know. I might.
Yeah, so we just started to go fishing. Sometimes we roll pretty decent, or like luck would be on outside and percentile a lot of us, and we ended up catching a big, very large sized cod. And because I was a very small goblin with no strength, I was able to hold onto the fishing rod, but I was unable to stay on the boat.
This literally happened in our campaign. And so he essentially went wakeboarding behind a fish. It was great. But that came from a piece of downtime. And he's like, stuff it. I'm going to try fishing. And he rolled on his, I think it was a nature check or something to go fish. Survival check, yeah. But okay, cool, you caught something. Yeah, but like the check was to see if you caught anything. And then he's like, alright, roll percentile. We'll see how big it is. You're in the middle of the ocean. You could have just hooked onto a giant squid. Like, there's nothing saying you couldn't have.
The thing is, though, as like a DM, when it comes to this, that's where you come up with all the stuff that says, "I'm gonna make this fun. I'm gonna make this interesting." And
It's
fun
where you
to
bring
play."
in the crazy shit that doesn't really have stupidly dire consequences.
Yeah.
Because he rolled really high on the percentile for that, and that's why it ended up being a really big fish. He's like, oh yeah, so by the way, it is stronger than you. He's like, ah, cool. I'll jump. Because I'm not letting go of this fishing rod. I'm pretty sure you caught the fish in the end, didn't you?
Yeah. So what happened? Ended up booking me, and he was making sure I didn't be too far away from the party.
Yeah.
And then we ended up managing to get back on board. And I think Alex came through a lightning bolt in it.
Yep.
Killed it.
Yeah.
And then was able to bring it in.
Yeah. There you go. Like,
Benny Hill.
but that also, it 100% was Benny Hill. But like, it never would have happened if you didn't just go, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Like, there's points where you just have to throw caution to the wind and be like, it's fine, I'm sure nothing's going to happen. You got to be smart about it. We were doing downtime activities, and he was fishing. Like, if he was then going to be told, oh yeah, by the way, there's sharks in the water that you just didn't see, like, doesn't make a stupid amount of sense for that to just happen only because he went in the water.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd
But-
be like,
yeah, but he did the stupid thing, and it paid off because it was a really fun moment.
yeah.
And he got to catch a fish and eat the fish. It was fantastic. Hey Astro, how's it going?
What's up, Astro Boy?
Astro is loving your stretches.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You were reading that wondering what the hell's going on, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what can you see?
I was like, my stretches. You don't have stretches.
Because you're on camera.
Ah, yes, I see.
The downfall of us all.
Let's go.
Oh, I love you. You picked up on that. Any other advice, Rob, for our new player here?
Don't be too serious about it. Like if you have to make it like if you can't pull 4 in a row, don't spend 3 hours trying to figure out that story. Just
Pick one.
pick a point and flip it.
Just tell them to pull out your hatchet and you make a third one right down the middle.
Yeah.
Like, do something stupid. Yeah. No, that's good advice because we've done that a lot where we've just taken a lot of time on a decision that didn't matter. And I feel like everyone does it at some point. But if you just chose, you would have gotten somewhere.
Yeah, speaking of going down the wrong road for the wrong reasons, Wednesday group's last session, I was trying to find food for the bubble, and we ended up having it for like half an hour for no reason.
Man, I heard that story.
Yeah, look, it wasn't the price of money.
Oh. So it was described to me this way. You know how the Friday group does sessions where we just role play and an hour in game is an hour out of game? Well, the Wednesday group took it a bit further. And they made an hour in game take 3 hours out of game.
Fuck.
What?
That's right. Because they were indecisive. They were like, in a conversation going, oh, but like this and that, and doing things out of game and trying to figure it out and not progressing forward with the actual story. So after an hour of discussion, they're like, okay, how about this? And so you finally move 5 minutes forward in game time. Like, yeah, they 100% could have just gone, fuck it, we're not doing it, and left, and progressed with the game and gotten more done. So, just pick
And
a
another
route.
thing, you don't have to fight everything you come across.
Very good advice. I didn't want to be
Yes.
the one to bring it up because I'm the one
know.
writing.
I kind of assume that because I'm not gonna see like something that's way out of my level, be like, fuck, I guess I have to fight it.
I could
Just
just
be like,
place a
"Alright,
dragon in
enough
front
here."
of you. I could place a dragon in front of you at level 1.
Yeah.
If you go and fight it, you will die.
No, 100%.
If you don't go and fight it, guess what? You're not going to die. Not there anyway. And yes, Blake did that.
How'd you go, Blake?
We were playing a game over quarantine.
Yeah.
Online. With Rob. Rob, were you here for this?
Yeah.
With the dragon?
Possibly.
So we got dropped in a room, and like an ogre comes out, and we fight the ogre and we kill it. I'm like, okay, cool. We keep investigating. We go down one path. We find more ogres, and we end up killing them.
Was this? No, sorry. Was this the gladiator
Yeah,
base thing?
yeah.
Yeah. I was,
And then we're like,
You have the rope.
nah. Oh yeah. You have the rope with the tooth on the end of it.
yeah.
But we decided, I don't think this is the right way. I think we should investigate the other way. So we went backwards. And we went the other way. And we fought some more ogres, and we came back to the same fork in the road that led to the same spot.
No, see, backtrack.
We were like, yeah, so we started here, and we went around this way, and we got to here, and we're like, no, this isn't right. So we came back through, and we went this way, and we ended up back here. So we got to the same place.
Yeah.
We're like, alright, let's see what's beyond this door. Because we've noticed people watching us and following us through these rooms. Because we're basically being made to fight in like a gladiatorial arena kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you go between rooms. So we open this little door, and there's a blue dragon in there. And we're like, fuck that, we close the door. And at some point, someone was like, oh, what's through there? So I was like, okay, hold on. We're going to do this really quick. So I open the door, and you see the dragon there, right up against the door, and starts charging its breath weapon. I was like, shit, and close the door. But if we went through there, very, very, very likely we just died.
Yeah.
That was never the real way to go.
Yeah, that's right. Like, we could have chosen it, but it was very clear that we were not fighting this thing. So we found another way out.
It was like DMs do it all the time. It's like trapping you and thinking it's your only decision.
Yes.
But it's really not.
It's really
There's always more decisions that you can make. You can just choose not to do the thing.
And outsmarting the DM is the real thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's about getting creative with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's about thinking through your options and coming up with something creative.
Yeah.
Because no DM is going to be able to... Yeah?
Sorry, basically, never let anybody know your name.
No, you never let anyone know your next move. Normal people talk through what they're going to do.
I skip the talking part and just go straight to the doing without thinking.
He thought us push the campaign forward a lot of the time.
Something out there.
Yes. Yeah, that fucking owlbear that you soloed because you decided to go for a walk in the middle of the night.
Actually, I was teaching Gerald.
Oh, were you?
So how do you get it?
So all the night I would go outside of the town and get the wolf eater and run around there.
I remember that part, but I thought you were just like wandering around. You found this thing, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna fight it. Because I remember everyone sitting at the table going, you are going to die. You're like, nah, she'll be right. You went and fought it, you killed it. We're like, that should never have happened.
No, I'm happy. I've got that achievement of that I saw it in
At low level? Yeah, at low
I
level.
think we're level 4 at the time. No.
Oh, I think it was a lot before that.
Yeah, very low.
Blade reckons level 2. Like, you should not have been able to fight that thing. That's why everyone outside a game is going, get the fuck away from it. don't be stupid.
No, because it was
We're like 3 sessions into this campaign and you're already gonna die.
That's slouchy.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
it's rapid. So it had
Yeah. We were also just looking and going, this is stupid, don't fight it.
It was all good anyway. I'm sure that I enough survival to get a perfect skinning of the outfit.
Yeah.
He ended it into one of the fights. We all got high, and he gave us the outfit. It was like a win-win situation going on.
It was.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
That's right. It's all about figuring out what's in the world though. And you're never gonna find out if you can get high in this world if you don't go looking for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you everything that is in this world. You can figure it out because you can help me build the world.
Well, the ones that group has already come up against some white balls of the... Yeah, we've come across some stuff already.
Oh, yeah, you broke drugs. I forgot. They did a drug smuggle. And they got super high.
Amazing.
It was acid. It was like balls of acid.
Amazing.
Big.
Oh, fuck.
Kill the NPC.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Like, Rob, tell them what you saw.
Remember.
Roll a history check.
About how you only saw you.
I didn't hear what you said.
It was about how you only saw you.
Everyone still like me, I'm very confused.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if he saw a dwarf, he'd see him in dwarf form.
Fair. Fair. Oh. Alright.
Sorry, this has been a while.
Yeah.
Astro Boy, I'm good, dude. Still recovering from a camping trip up at Lithgow over the weekend.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't go camping anymore. I haven't
think
been
I've gone
camping since...
camping a couple of times.
I haven't been camping since I was like 8.
So what you're saying is that we should throw a guard if the Wednesday fire group to a camping weekend. Is that what's going to happen?
Are we just going to do this Survivor style?
I mean, like, I'm okay with it.
Like, I know a couple of places up in Mountain we can go that's, like, legal for us camping and nothing but it's like against the law.
Look,
God damn it.
Camping
God damn it, Rob. Why do I not believe that?
I'm not okay with this because nothing is your girl.
I'm cooking once a month.
Your
Once a month.
girl. His girl doesn't come.
Yours does.
Because she plays the.
That's right. You will have to deal with with all of that bullshit. Slept on the cold hard ground, went fishing, caught nothing, but I got a lightsaber for my birthday, so I made up for it. Fair enough. You know what? That would also make up for it if it happened to me.
If you want
What kind of lightsaber?
I was going to put a candle in the cake that I gave you. Technically, that's part of your birthday.
Amazing.
Oh, really?
Amazing. Oh yeah, so can we get some happy birthday fishies in chat for Alfredo?
Yes, it's my birthday today. Oh, is it still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still my birthday.
Oh yeah, bro, we've not been doing this for all that long tonight.
Hey, I built a table.
You
It's
can-
massive compared to that.
That is a big...
When you say you've built a table,
You really need to...
I've seen you build a table.
I chose them to.
Oh, you chose... Oh, it's a custom built one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
When you
It
say
has
you
LEDs in it, bro. You can see it going on.
Yeah, I can see them.
Well, like-
Blind.
you say you've built a table, but I just watch you assemble.
Yeah, I was gonna say...
You built that table.
You
You assembled
assembled
that table.
Oh, you built that table? Where'd you get the like materials from?
The box.
the box.
Pull them out of the box. Put it together.
As my colleague says, a dusty box is better than a used box.
Amazing. Astro says, ooh, happy birthday, bro. We're only 3 days apart.
3 days. Bloody hell.
You. Yeah. Blue sent in happy birthday, fishies.
Yeah.
My guy.
My god.
So, I've noticed that we've got very few favorite D&D stories in the chat. Is this one just not a good one? Does no one want to share? Is that how that's going?
Swing and a miss.
All out.
Oh, Astro, you're being called out.
You're
You
being-
may have to.
That's why I said you call.
I'm saying you're being called out. You may have to jump on the Discord.
You're being summoned to the Discord.
I think we're trying to kick Rob off to get Astro on to tell us your favorite story, favorite D&D story.
Alright, tell him to bye, Rob.
Bye, Rob.
Sometimes maybe good. Sometimes
Enjoy
maybe
the stream, and I'll catch you guys on Thursday.
Thanks for joining, Rob. Good hearing from you.
Also, don't forget about tomorrow morning.
Again?
Also, don't forget about tomorrow morning.
Yeah, of course. No problems.
I don't know what tomorrow morning is.
Yeah, let's see.
Sure.
Good job, guys.
Awesome. I'll be going.
Astro Boy's playing Power Washer Simulator at the moment, trying not to fall asleep.
Well, come on. If you talk about your favorite D&D story in the Discord, you'll be able to not fall asleep because you got to speak. And also, you don't need volume for Power Washer Simulator.
Are you sure?
Also, Power Washer Simulator puts you to sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say,
but-
how are you trying to stay awake playing Power Washer Simulator?
You're being called out, bro. You might have to jump on the Discord. I will say though, you do have to have sound for Power Washer Simulator. Otherwise, what are you really simulating? You can't immerse yourself power washing something without sound.
Yeah, Power Washer's loud as fuck, bro.
Exactly. You can't
all
do
you
it.
hear is it go.
Lovely. Can someone please clip him doing that? Because that was great. I just watched it.
If you like, we're using the clip.
I love it.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Just-
Yeah. There you go. He did it again, so people can clip it. Nah, playing it to make me tired, so I do say.
But next time
Plus
won't.
the music in the
Yeah, but
background.
next time's not going to be this topic.
yeah, it's gonna be a different.
He's
Yeah.
right. Next time isn't this time.
Nah, he just doesn't want to do it. But he's too polite to say he doesn't
I-
want to do it.
I think he's just scared.
It's okay to say no,
It is okay to say.
but we'll be upset anyway.
We won't be mad if you say no.
We won't
We'll
be
just
mad,
be
just
disappointed.
disappointed.
Oh, we got a wow. So we'll see where that leads.
Oh, dear.
So any other? That's okay, son. Any other questions about the game that you've been sitting on and not asking?
Not off the top of my head. I sit on a lot of shit.
I know. That's why I'm asking. You're the one trying to figure out what you can and can't do in these games, and
How do you interact
what's
with players?
what's a good idea, what's a bad
Yeah,
idea.
no, that's a good one. How do I interact with other players? Do I have to wait for my turn to be like, hey, person, how are you?
You can 100% do that. 100% you can. Oh, please do. Yeah, you can do that. But the better way is probably to talk the way that we're talking right now.
Right, okay, so you don't have to go on a turn basis, fucking
No,
staying your piece.
you don't have to. I wouldn't be jumping in over other people unless it's like on purpose and you're trying to jump in on the conversation. But like, you do you, bro. You're playing your character. Talk to their character as your character.
Yeah, so one way to not get lost in, the difference between it's a game and the immersion is when people go, I go up and I'm going to ask this, instead of you going, hey man, what's going on? Like, instead of you cutting out that
You could
intro
say,
of
"Hey
you
man,
doing
what's
this.
going on?" Or you could say, "My character is coming to your character and asking what's going on."
It's like, even if I'm being like the dungeon master right now, and I go, you come into this town, you see like a crowd covering what seems to be a bloody massacre. You see like legs torn off bodies, the neck ripped open, splattered over the door to the left. You see a guard standing to the left of you. What are you doing?
Hey, God,
Yes, it is.
what the fuck just happened?
We're currently trying to investigate that. Look, we don't have much, but if you do hear anything, please tell us, because no one's really speaking right now.
I'll keep an ear out.
Literally.
But
That's it.
That's your role. You don't need to say I'm going to go
So,
up.
so you don't have to say, I look over to the guard
Yeah.
and I ask him what happened.
Yeah, literally.
That's right.
You had no idea, so now you know the guards don't know what happened. They've asked for you to tell them if anything's happened, so that's a choice for you to do.
So I could say before I walked into this town, I saw a big shadowy figure
Yep.
leave the town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if that actually happened, you roll persuasion on your character sheet. If it didn't happen, you roll deception. Persuasion means you're persuading them, telling them it's the truth. Deception means you're lying to them. So if they were to, like, it's like you bluffing. You know how people lie and they're smiling at you, or they're shit at lying because they
Yeah.
stumble on their words?
Yeah.
That's what
That's
they
a
try
really
to
bad
read you.
deception.
So that's them trying to read how well you just lied.
Yeah.
And if they can't beat whatever you roll, they go, oh shit, right. Thank you. So
Alright.
if you're lying, you roll deception. If you're telling the truth, you roll persuasion. Or they just might believe you go wrong.
Yeah.
Depending on how believable what you said is.
Okay, so can we just play that again?
So if you see anything, just let me know.
I saw a shadowy figure, large in size, leaving the town into the forest
How long ago?
before I walked into the village.
So now, you would take this,
Let's have a D.
20.
So every roll you make in this game that's not like
Weapon.
that's not being asked for something specific. If I say to you, roll me a D8,
One second.
you would take the D8. If I just say roll skill, you'll always roll a D20.
So, were you lying or telling the truth?
I was telling the truth.
Okay, so you see here persuasion.
Okay.
So +2. So
Yeah.
you roll a d20
13. D. 15.
and 15, and then I roll behind the DM screen, so you don't know the result. But I rolled a 5. So I go, because you said that, I'm going to now believe you
Right.
100%. He goes, alright, you said the solar temple.
Yeah.
Keep that on the down, don't you? Alright, and then you walk. And then he walks after he talks to you. He walks over to another guard, kind of just holds his shoulder and whispers to him. And you see the other guard just nod his head as the other guard like makes haste away.
Yeah.
Because now you have informed the guards about that certain thing.
Yeah.
Then later, do you know what that could do? Could do lots of things. They could actually lose track of it. They might find it, but you know, don't know how to approach it. Or some people might approach it and they get.
Okay.
So there's heaps of ways. It all depends on how the DM decides
So-
to go with it.
So sometimes it might actually be better to lie.
Depending on what
Yeah.
it is.
So-
If you saw a big black shadowy figure, you say in your head, could a guard fight this?
No. So you lie.
So you lie
Well,
and you say,
you might choose to lie,
Yeah.
or you might say this thing looked really dangerous. This thing looked supernatural.
I don't think you should chase after it. And then you
Yeah.
roll, but you lose the was it the persuasion.
They'll be like,
And then they go, you
Yeah.
idiot.
no,
Hey,
we
let's
are
go
the
get it."
town
no,
guard.
they'd be like, you don't know what we're capable of, man. And then they just walk off and
And
they
they
go
go,
tell
go.
them. So, and then that's them being blatantly ignorant to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then they will suffer the consequences.
So it's not that you have to lie because otherwise you're sending them to their deaths.
But if you do lie, the advantage of that is that there's no thing of them going, we can handle it.
Yeah.
Because you change that. They might look into you more, might investigate you, and they might think you're number one subject. Suspect.
So you
So-
could really
so-
balls it up.
Yeah. So there's so many different ways your one conversation leads into.
This
Yeah.
dice could ruin your life.
It killed me. I rolled 2 dice.
You
last
rolled
Friday.
2 dice and it killed
I
you.
rolled 1 and a 5, and I died. I mean, if I'd rolled better, on that first roll, I would have gotten out of it and probably gone, I'm going that way.
So, you could, let's say it was a part of your campaign to sneak into this village and, I don't know, assassinate someone.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so one of your party members just committed this assassination and they're seen as like the suspect. I could walk over to the guy and just be like, hey, I saw this person, complete opposite description. And then I roll deception, like that's 20.
Yes.
And they'll be like, oh, cool, we believe you. And
What-
then you just go.
what just
Well,
happened?
depends on whether or not you succeed.
What you just explained happened on Wednesday,
Oh,
like for their Wednesday group. So what happened was that one of the characters, Key or Kat, she was number one suspect for the guy who died of acid. So what happened was that they did this elaborate plan, beat the shit out of her, tied her up in a different room, like they broke her out, and then blamed someone who was dead, but they only know they're dead.
Yeah.
Which was their old character. And she rolled a persuasion check and rolled a natural 20. But the DC was already low because there's so much evidence. Like, how did you break yourself out of jail to put you in this locked room to tie yourself up?
Yeah.
Like, there was just so much that they did to warrant that, yes, this is going to change the result. Even though she didn't do anything, but she rolled so low on her persuasion that they thought she was number one suspect.
Yeah.
And nothing else, because he died of a drug, and there's no, like, detect drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, like,
Yeah.
autopsy.
They're poisons, isn't it?
Yeah, but they were just normal guards.
Yeah.
So they had no way of knowing. So they just locked her up and they're going, well, no one else is dying. Here's the one that did it.
No, one stupid criminal off the street.
Exactly.
That's right.
God, us, the NPC guards, are so good at what we do. No, let's go fight that big deadly monster that guy was talking about.
Yeah, literally. But like, it depends on how you want to go about it. And there's no right way to do it.
Yeah.
There's just the way that you have decided. And if you roll well, great. If you roll terribly, you might be making things a lot worse for
Not
yourself, depending
so
on what
great.
you decide to try and say.
Right.
Yeah. Or you could just not approach them.
Cool.
Like, that same scenario, there's someone dead, there's a guard near you. You go, cool, I'm walking away. You don't have to go and talk to the guard. I pointed, like, you know, he pointed out that there's a guard there. So you can go talk to them, it's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Just because it was put in front of you doesn't mean you have to take the bait. Just like the regular look for coin person, the shitty one. Just because I described the shitty one a lot more doesn't mean there's something special in it. It's like there's nothing that you have to do about the guard. But yeah. Also, I think the takeaway from this discussion has been ask questions.
It's,
I think it really has.
this big one was
Because
about
that's-
us,
Because that's been the main thing. Even when you're...
You could also just stab the gun.
You could. You 100% could just go and stab the guard in the middle of that crowded plaza where there's everyone there watching you. And then give the dagger to Joe Blow next to you and be like, it was him.
He did it!
You could. You'd probably...
14.
Cool, I didn't ask for that roll.
Yeah, true.
So...
I
that's
stabbed
the
the
thing.
guard and handed my dagger to Joe Blow. I yell out that Joe Blow stabbed the guard.
roll a hit. So add dexterity or strength. Right on the far.
Plus 3.
Yeah, so what is it?
8.
So you go to stab the guard, and they catch your hand, and go, what the hell are you doing? And they attempt a grapple check to hold you in place and take you into custody.
So
So,
I'd roll
you-
a
you've al-
strength check
But yeah, so that would be roll either strength or dexterity.
with dexterity.
Roll.
So it's a...
You don't know what that number is.
It's an 8.
You don't know what that number is. Though.
Oh, because that's you.
That's right. So I rolled So now you roll a die.
Oh, so this is the strength tech.
Yes.
So
you
the
roll
guard's
either
strength is 8. So I have to roll more than 8.
No. You. All right. Maybe I should have done it like this. All right. So now they're going to attempt to grapple you. I'm going to come over here.
Yeah.
So there's the new number. So now roll either strength or dexterity to avoid the grapple.
I'm gonna roll dexterity. 9.
9? Yeah. The number on the die was a 13.
Oh fuck.
So
I'm having
now that you wanted to look too far into the 8, now it's a 13.
Shit.
And so you've now been grappled. And they're holding you there. And he's going to use an action, essentially, to put manacles on you.
Okay.
Which are essentially handcuffs. So now you're handcuffed.
I make the action of kneeing the guard in the testicles.
You're not facing him anymore because he grappled you and he turned you around. Would you like to change what you're trying to do, or do you want to try and turn him?
I'm gonna try and
Alright. Roll a hit.
17.
What's the commitment?
Which one's my roll to hit?
So if you're trying to knee them, strength.
That's a -1.
So
For this character. So it was a.
I think it was a 17 on the die.
16.
What's the AC on the character sheet?
AC.
Armor class.
18.
18. What's the number below it though?
13.
13. And then because you weren't facing them and you need to turn around, add 5 to it. So we'll go. So 18.
18.
Okay. So you miss. Because
Oh, what the fuck?
so that there with the +5 was because you were being held this way, and you're like, I'm gonna try and knee him. So to get your knee around there, you got to turn around, so that it's gonna be harder to do.
Right.
I'm not rolling against that,
Yeah.
but because it's gonna be harder to do, I increase the difficulty, which would be their armor class. Yeah. Yeah. So if you instead said, okay, if I'm backwards, then I didn't realize I was backwards. Sorry about that. How about if I try and kick backwards into his pins?
Kick backwards.
Now
kick
roll
the
it.
kneecap. So I'm gonna attempt to
This is the alternate situation.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to backwards kick the guard in the kneecap.
Yeah. So it still fails, but you didn't have the increased AC for that. So it would have been the 13, not the 18. Yeah? Because I didn't increase the AC because you can very easily just from behind you pick your leg up and kick backwards.
Yeah.
It's not like you're trying to turn your entire body against him holding you.
Yeah.
To hit him with your knee.
Okay.
Yeah? So that's difficult checks. It is donkey kicking. That's exactly what it was. Astro asked a while ago, how do you stop the urge to kill any NPCs?
Consequences.
That's he already knows. There are consequences to what you do.
This ain't some kind of anarchy.
Yes. You can go around murder over everything, but you know what happens when you murder over everything? I throw stronger things at you.
The dungeon master is a god.
Yeah. If you're just gonna try and kill everything I've put in front of you, whether it's a farmer or a gerbil, I'm gonna just stop throwing those things at you and I'm gonna go, cool, there's a troll in front of you now. Go on, kill this.
It's like, oh, you want to try and buy food? The shopkeeper knows that you're notorious for killing everyone, so he's serve you.
Okay, here's an idea. Let's no, let's not use that.
The monster book.
Yep. So you can use that character there.
Yep.
Which would don't use that one, sorry. That's a spellcaster. Use this character here.
Okay.
Because he actually has weapons.
This man's has the strength of 0.
Plus 0.
Oh, plus 0.
Yeah, the strength is 10.
Strength of 10 plus 0. Okay.
So it just means you don't add anything to the rolls if you're using strength. But his weapons are down here.
So, wait, what's a dancing sword?
It's just it's a weapon.
Okay, it's a sword.
Yeah.
So, what dice is a sword? It's a D8.
Yeah. It'll all say it on there.
D8, and it's a plus 3p.
So the P is piercing.
Okay.
Just the type of damage.
Should be.
One with 8 sides.
Shit.
Gives me 1, 2.
Yeah, this one since D8.
So what we're gonna do is you are currently playing as Zapper, right? You've woken up in the middle of the night. All of your party members are still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You've tried to wake them, but they just won't rouse. Seems to be some kind of magical sleep that they're in.
They just can't be working.
They just can't be working because we're hand waving that because we're gonna show you how combat works.
Yeah.
You do notice that there is in front of you, in your room, a humanoid figure with a long, thin tail. Its face comes forward in like a real muzzly sort of face. Long fingernails that almost look like claws. This thing very much resembles a rat, but crossed with a human.
Okay.
Okay? What do you do?
Is this creature holding any weapons?
No. Okay, so here's the point. So because you've just stopped and you're gonna try and think of questions, I'm not gonna say you've taken you're looking at this thing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And you're just thinking about it, and you're like, what the hell's going on? It's gonna come. It's gonna take a few steps towards you, and with its clawed hands, it's gonna take a swipe at you. Okay, so it's going to roll. Does a 14 hit you?
Can I do a dexterity saving?
No. Does a 14 hit you?
Oh,
So look at your armor class.
It's a 14. So
Right. So if it meets it, it beats it. Is what our moniker is. If it meets it, it beats it. So I'm going to take this die. Huh? You take 6 points of piercing damage.
Where's my health? Those characters.
So hit points.
Let's hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm on 31 hit points.
Okay. So minus
how
six.
much did I take? Minus 6. Alright, so I'm on
Use this.
25.
Yeah, cool. Alright, so now what I would like you to do is make me a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, so what?
So, go onto your sheet,
Yep.
find your saving throws.
Okay. The death saves?
Saving throws, it'll have its own heading.
It'll have its own heading.
Yeah?
Right. Equipment, text spellcasting, hit dice, test
So
saving.
it's near your skills.
It's in my skills.
Mm-hmm. Near your skills.
Dude, what?
These are your skills.
Oh, saving throws. Right,
Saving
okay.
Okay, so find Constitution.
Okay, yep.
So what's the bonus on it?
+2.
Plus 2? Alright, so roll your d20 if you're making a check.
Yep.
What'd you get?
That one.
Okay, so with as a total of 3. But because you failed, you are now cursed with lycanthropy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's it. That's all that's happening right now. So you'll go.
So.
Or sorry, what I would do here, because we hadn't got into initiative yet. So now, because the fight has started, it's made an attack against you. Roll initiative. So, find where it says initiative.
Dude, what?
Be up towards the top of the sheet. It's alright, you will find all this stuff a lot quicker once you know where you're looking.
Initiative, yeah.
Yep.
It says at the top. Oh, near the top, sorry.
So where your hit points are, above that is initiative.
Oh, hit point. Fuck, I'm so bad.
Where your hit points are?
Oh,
Initiative.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Plus 3 initiative.
Plus 3? Alright, so what do you do here?
So I'm rolling my D20 for initiative.
Yep.
Fuck off. Really? 3.
3?
Oh, 4. That one.
Okay, so the were-rat's going to go first in initiative. So
That's with the
it's
jump.
going to make another attack at you. It's gonna make another claw attack at you. I did the saving throw thing. Look at
Fuck.
that. So it does a what is it? +4. Does a 24 hit you?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens now? Because I've rolled a critical hit, it's damage dies a D8. I'm gonna roll it. 6. And roll it again. 5. 11 plus its bonus. You're gonna take 13 damage. That's the end of the rat's turn. Now your turn in turn order.
So, what's the room like? To the bedroom?
Yep.
Okay. Am I
You have
holding my sword?
you have all of your equipment within arm's reach. And for some reason you're wearing your armor. Because we're using your armor. You fell asleep with your armor on before you could take it off.
Yeah. This would be seen as a double attack, wouldn't it?
Depends.
I'm gonna say it anyway. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to kick the bed into the rat human's shin, and then I'm gonna lunge at him.
Yes, okay. This is going to be 2 actions.
That's 2 actions.
So an action is some kind of significant action that you're going to be taking.
Right.
So because it's a full action, it's something significant like moving the bed.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can attempt to move the bed if you want. It's going to be too heavy for you to basically pick up and throw at him because you've got 10 strength. Yeah. So you're pretty much just going to be moving it, or you can do something else.
Free interaction.
I wouldn't call throwing a bed at someone a free interaction.
I said
Kicking the bed at someone, I wouldn't call it.
gliding the bed with my. Because I'm not gonna like try and drop something.
But if you're kicking it into them, you're kicking the bed and trying to push the bed into them. It's going to require some significant amount of force.
Right.
And any round that happens here, so its turn and your turn, all happens within 6 seconds.
So I'm better with taking the safe route, just lunging at it with myself.
Well, you could kick the bed at them if you wanted, but it's going to be your whole action. Are you going to be able to kick a bed at someone and go out and go over to them and try and stab at them with your sword, all in 6 seconds? That's exactly.
Okay, so each action is only 6 seconds.
That's right. Each turn is 6 seconds. So as you level up, you get something called extra attack. So when you take the attack action, so when you attack with your sword, you can attack again.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So I would call trying to kick the bed into them an action.
An action. Okay. So
If you wanted to use the bed to springboard up,
yeah,
sure.
that's what I was about to.
That's not trying to interact with two different things, like two distinctly different things in distinctly different ways. So much so that it would take more than 6 seconds for you to do it. Right? Rule of cool only works insofar as it makes sense. I am 100% okay with rule of cool in something, but we're also trying to teach mechanics.
Yeah, I think I need to learn basic mechanics first before I start getting to rule of cool and shit like that. Alright, so instead of doing
rule of cool as well is more of like so he has a weapon there in the weapon, so it's written in there, like in your attacks.
So
called the Sunblade.
Oh, the Sunblade. Where is that? In his weapons. Oh yeah, Sunblade.
Sunblade. So what that is it's essentially a lightsaber.
Lovely.
Yeah? So if you were to decide that you want to use the Sunblade, and you were going to, let's say you grappled him. Yeah? So grapple's a special action, which is the thing that I said the guard's going to do to you because they're trying to restrain you, right? They're trying to take you in custody. You can try and grapple it by making a contested check, and in doing that, you hold them in position.
Right.
So if you were to do that and then go, okay, well I've got him held. I'm gonna grab my Sunblade and I'm just gonna ignite it with it up against him.
Yeah.
You ignite it, cool, roll damage. That's rule of cool.
Okay. So right, so
normally I technically would have to tell you, okay, make an attack, right? To roll to hit. But the thing you were doing made a lot of sense in what you were doing because you're already holding him down. So there's no real way that he's going to get out of it without using his own turn. And it's your turn, right? So you're going to go, cool, well, I'm already holding him. I'm going to grab the Sunblade. So because you're turning it on, it's igniting this blade that's coming out of this hilt that you've already got held to it.
So grappling is the action, and you roll for the grapple.
Yeah, and that would be your turn.
Okay, but that would be my turn ended. So what?
Yes.
So how can I?
All I'm doing right now is explaining what was meant by rule of cool.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's hit you. It's dealt you a pretty big blow.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Kind of fucked. Alright, so I springboard off the bed.
Yep.
And I swing my Sunblade, aiming for the back of the neck.
Sure. Okay, so that's what we call a cold shot. So I'm going to increase the AC by a certain amount. You're going to make the same attack roll.
Yeah.
And if you hit the increased AC, you'll be able to hit what you're trying to hit.
Okay.
If you don't get it, but you hit the AC still, you're just going to hit the normal.
Okay.
Alright? So, because you're going to try and springboard off the bed, roll me an acrobatics check.
And my acrobatics is a +3, so 12.
Well, sure. So you, as you take your hit, you turn and you put your foot on the bed and you push yourself up and come down and use all of your force coming down onto them. So roll to hit with advantage. So what that means is you take a second d20, roll them both,
Okay.
and you take the higher number. You don't add them together, but you take the better number.
19.
19. Cool.
And what's the... Do I get a plus on this?
Yeah. So it'll be in to hit. So in your attack, it's got what the attack that you're doing is.
Oh, right. So
Hit,
the...
and it's got that.
Is it attack bonus? Is my
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's a +7.
Cool. So
26.
sure. So 26 hits. So roll damage.
1d8.
Yep.
I'm gonna say the other dice didn't fit with that. 7.
So whether or not it hit it doesn't matter. As long as it lands flat, Like,
Okay,
that's still a
right.
3, right?
Alright, so I rolled a 1.
Sure. Alright, so the 1 plus whatever your damage bonus is. What does it deal? 1d8 radiant. Oh, I think it's this down here.
Plus 4.
He's
Right.
just got it written.
So I rolled a
What's
5.
So it's the rules on ability checks and shows you the difficulties.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that way, if he wants another thing, and also tells him what's the difference between like what he used strength for,
Yeah.
and what each check represents.
Okay.
So if you ever get stuck, you can always go, "What does acrobatics do?" And it literally says here, "What it resolve." And then remember how he was doing the easy thing,
Yeah.
like where he was going on the different checks. That's a table that you can actually represent everything.
Because you're just jumping off the bed,
That'd be
right?
fine.
It's
Easy.
well, it's probably not very easy.
And it's easy.
It's
yeah.
it's probably an easy check.
Yeah.
So as long as you beat 10, you were
Sweet. You're sweet, man.
sweet. If you're gonna tell me you're gonna run up the wall, grab on, like swing up the chandelier and
Kick
dive
him in the
down
head.
to him,
Yeah.
I'd be giving you a harder check.
Nearly an impossible 30. How can you roll 30? How can you roll
That's why
25?
it's nearly impossible.
How can you roll 25?
Yeah. You just rolled a 26 to hit me.
Oh, do you know what? Fair point.
If you rolled a 19, you had a plus 7.
Yeah.
26 to hit. That 26 would have made a very hard check.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think you've got any plus 7s in your skill, but that's a yet thing.
Yeah. No, my highest is possible. Or
Yeah.
this character sheet.
But the way that works, alright. So we've probably come off of this fight thing now. So these coloured in bubbles mean that you're proficient.
Yeah, my proficiency bonus.
So your athletics strength, your strength is 0, but it's a +2 because it adds your proficiency.
Yeah.
If we look at intimidation, it's charisma plus proficiency, +2, +2, so it's a +1. That's how you get higher checks.
Yeah.
As you level up, your proficiency bonus increases.
Yeah.
Grab my one from there. Because I think his highest on here was +4.
Is it this one?
Yeah. So this was my character, the one that died.
Yeah.
But right here, I've got a +5 here, +5 here, +5 here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch of +3s, +2, +2. And there's just a bunch of zeros. There's a -1 there. So it all depends on how you've made these stats.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a melee character, I invested a lot in my intelligence because that's what I use to cast spells.
Yeah.
So all of my intelligence-based skills are all +3 at least.
Yeah.
This on this side was because I had a magic item. So this +5 actually became a +6 because of that magic item. So I would be able to, with a 19, make a very hard check on religion or history or a
Right. Oh.
I wouldn't be able to make a near impossible check, but
You could possibly make a very.
yeah,
If you rolled a 19.
my original character, like that I was playing that whole long campaign with, had a +11 in at least one skill.
Yeah.
When you get to that high level, this proficiency bonus goes as high as 6 alone. So +6 plus the plus the 4 here, that's a +10.
So is that +4 for?
So this is because I had a magic item, so the stat was no longer a 16, which is a +2, it was a 19.
And so when you lose that magic item, then you rub that.
Yeah, that's why I wrote it separately, because if I lose the magic item, then and I rub this out, I don't know what my intelligence is anymore. So I wrote it on the side.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but you probably should make note of what it is without the thing. But so let's say we were max level and none of my skills changed, right? Max level, you have a proficiency bonus of +6.
Yeah.
My intelligence has a +4. So
That's
on
already
any
a
of
+10 by itself.
any of these here, would have been a plus 10. So with a natural 20, I could actually succeed on a nearly impossible task. Are the old characters?
Oh, yeah, my character shit somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so this is this was when I was level 10.
Mhm.
But
Oh my God.
right here, perception, I have a plus 9.
Hello, my little
Sleight of hand, I have a plus 7.
Look at the color difference.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, look at that.
how
That's
old
gone through
it
some
is.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. But that's exactly the point. All right, let's have a look at my attacks that I've got here. My with a normal dagger, I had a plus 9 to hit. And it dealt 1d4 plus 5 damage. So I literally dealt more damage with my modifier than I could possibly do rolling the dice. There should be a magic item here. 3d8 plus 6. So I'd roll 3d8s and then add 6 to that number. The numbers get crazy as you look. Yeah. There you go. At this point, my strength was 21
Oh, wow.
because I had a magic item.
Mhm.
So originally it was 8. I got this magic item. All of a sudden, it's a 21, and I was the strongest person in the party because of the item, which is this right here, the dog with giant strength.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My survival's minus 1.
Yeah.
Why am I acting surprised? I fucking made this.
But yeah.
So what's my
He
passive?
had
What's my
no
passive
negatives.
wisdom again?
Your passive wisdom, it is definitely not 9. So it's 10 plus your perception. Unless your perception is negative. Yeah. So because this is a -1, 10 plus -1 is 10 minus 1, which is 9.
What is my wisdom?
Your passive perception is things that you would innately notice going on. So I walk into a room, I walk into this room, like right now, and I notice that Blake's messing with a microphone, but I might not notice that there's a bottle of hand sanitizer down there. Just walking into the room, right? Okay. So my passive is high enough to notice that Blake's there messing with stuff behind the camera.
Right.
But it's not high enough to notice that you've got a die sitting here on the table. I'd have to look for it. That's me making a conscious check on perception to see if I find it.
So my passive would be, because it's only a 9. I'd be like,
It's just
messing with
being
Sally.
it's being oblivious to your surroundings.
Yeah.
So in your passive, it could be one of those moments like, did you just see that? And the other people go, no.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay. Did you see me close this book?
No.
Because your passive perception wasn't higher.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. If you'd noticed me closing the book, it would have been because you had a higher passive.
Or I heard it or something.
Well, that's also just your passive. Perception is what you see, what you hear, what you smell.
Okay, yeah.
And so having a low passive just means that you're not that clued into everything that's going on around you.
Right.
This number doesn't have any intrinsic value. It's not a 9 is you would notice this, but you wouldn't notice this.
Right, yeah. 'Cause I feel like that'd be very, very difficult to believe.
Yes. So if I, let's say there's goblins coming behind you trying to ambush you, right? They're not particularly hidden by anything, but they are trying to move slowly and trying to be quiet and not rouse your suspicions, right? So I'm gonna roll stealth, and let's say they've got a plus 1. right? So I roll it. 13 plus 1, 14. What is your passive perception?
9.
Okay, so because it's rolled
Roll
a 14,
higher.
it's higher than your passive perception,
So-
you don't notice them.
Right. But also, I can
So-
turn around whenever I feel like it.
Yeah. But if I'm just rolling a die, you don't know why I'm rolling a die. You can say,
And I can't just see that you've rolled a die or hear that you've rolled a die and be like, I'm going to turn around.
You could.
Oh, really?
Sure. What's stopping you? Or what's stopping me from going, okay, but they're stealth. You can't notice them. So they duck behind a tree.
Ah.
So yeah, you turn around, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Alright, well...
you turn around, but you don't see anything.
Okay, well, I haven't... Okay, so I don't notice them.
Yeah. But that's what your passive perception.
Yeah, okay.
That was the whole exercise.
That's just a... If something's rolled higher than that,
Yeah.
then you don't...
Because if I was doing that, I wouldn't tell you that there's goblins trying to sneak up on you.
Yeah. Hey, it's goblins sticking up.
You know, I might be narrating that, you know, you use a maid camp. Hey, roll me a survival check to see how well you set up somewhere to sleep for the night.
Right.
So roll me survival.
Survival check. 8, and then what's my survival one? Okay, so it's a 7.
A 7. You don't do a great job. As you're trying to put it up, it kind of like collapses. Midway through doing it.
It kind of collapses like half in.
Yeah. So it's not actually.
really cool.
It's not actually going to be protecting you from any of the weather or anything around you. You might have to try again, because you realise that you've not actually set anything up yet.
Right. So you've just
So what are you doing?
You just offered for me to try again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do another survival.
Yeah, you
roll.
want to try again? All right.
9. So it's 9.
Tonight. Yeah. So as you try and put it back up, you didn't quite really understand what you'd gotten wrong last time. You think you've got it, and as you put the last piece on that's going to keep you dry, the whole thing collapses again. Meanwhile, from behind you, does a 19 hit?
What?
Well, I rolled a stealth check while you weren't paying attention, while you were trying to put up camp. So does a 19 hit?
19, yes.
Yeah?
It's
As a goblin with a spear comes up behind you and stabs it in behind your shoulder. You're gonna take 6 points of piercing damage.
oh, how ironic.
Yeah. So you took 6 points of piercing damage. What are you doing? You've just been stabbed.
Out of reflex, I grab my scythe and I wildly swing it behind me.
Yeah, sure. So as you turn, swinging at whatever just stabbed you, you see a goblin standing there holding a spear. Roll a hit.
So 19 plus 4, 23.
Yeah, hits. Roll damage.
So that's 2d4s. So 4, 2, and it's a +2, so 8.
Yeah, cool. So as you bring the scythe down, you very nearly like cut all the way through its arm. It's like stabbed into the top of its shoulder. As it shrieks, it drops its spear and it starts to run, pulling itself free as it does. So the point of that was you were setting up camp and I had set up an ambush.
Right.
Because I rolled higher than your passive, it snuck up on you.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it in game. I wouldn't be saying, okay, now there's goblins coming up behind you and they're going to roll stealth to see if they
Yeah.
miss your passive. Because then you know. I'm just going to sit there behind the...
You
Table.
could just,
Hey, look, it's a
you could just
13.
look like you're just fiddling.
Well, yeah, I might roll a die and you're like, he's rolling a die. Why is he rolling a die? I'm going to look around. I'm just, roll a die. So what? Doesn't mean I'm doing anything. I'm just throwing the die around. Or I might roll a die and you go, oh shit, he's rolling dice. Why is he rolling dice? I just keep telling you how you keep failing to put up this
Fucking tent.
this tent. And at this point you can't get it and you're frustrated,
Little brain.
and you know you're not getting it, so you're just gonna go and do something else. What are you doing?
I just decided that I'm going to set up a fire.
Cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Setting up fire's not too hard. You have a tinderbox in your
I do have a tinderbox in my...
inventory. It's pretty easy to set up the fire with what your friends already collected in firewood. So go ahead. You light fire. You do it pretty well.
Oh, so I don't even have to rough that. Alright, cool.
No.
Alright. I'm just gonna...
What is he doing?
Oh, he's just sitting down, enjoying, getting warm. Getting warm. It's
Yeah,
a pretty
get
cold
that fire.
night.
As 3.5 hours pass, you're just enjoying yourself by the fire. Are you going to do anything? Are you going to go to bed?
I'll give setting up the tent one more.
Sure, go ahead. Set up tent.
Fucking that one.
You're not getting this tent, bro. Like, it's just not happening. You're either sleeping on the hard ground, or you're not sleeping tonight.
I think I'm gonna have something quick to eat. What's in my dungeon pack? What's in my dungeon? I know there's food in here.
I don't know.
I've completely forgotten. Do you have the book?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're not
Alright.
actually doing it.
Let's just say I have a fucking bag of chips or something.
Sure, you got rations.
Yeah, I've got rations. Alright, I start eating one of my rations by the campfire to see if I can energize myself.
You do so.
Alright, I've eaten my rations. I feel good about this tent.
At this point, I'm not allowing you to attempt setting up the tent. You've failed it enough times that you're just not getting this done tonight. You know that if you're sleeping, it's not going to be in this tent.
I find a soft patch of dirt, and then I use the tent as a blanket.
Yeah, and you go to sleep for the night.
Yep.
You wake up the next morning.
Alright, I'm gonna...
I've rolled the dice 6 times.
Yeah, I've
In the middle of
I've heard every single time.
I'm not planning something. I might just be faking you out.
Yeah.
And it's to get you thinking, oh my god, what's he planning? There's no plan. I'm just putting the fear of God into you to see if you're gonna try and, oh, well, he's rolling the die, and you never roll the dice without a plan, so he has to be planning something. And so
Well, I guess that makes sense.
so you're trying to stay up because you're like, nah, something's gonna happen though, and he's gonna do it the moment I fall asleep.
That makes
Let me
sense.
tell you, I'm going to sleep. Cool. You wake up the next day. Like
You don't wake up
you have a really good rest. You wake up feeling amazing.
If they just slept on a
It's
patch of dirt.
yeah, but like it's a new day.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like
I feel
just
like
because I rolled doesn't mean I'm doing anything.
That stumped me so much.
That's exactly the point. Because I did it before, and I was like, yeah, cool. I beat you passive, and
Yeah.
I was already doing it
It's
for
a spear in
a
your
point.
back.
Yeah, it's now gonna roll a hit. Like
Yeah.
just because I'm rolling a die doesn't mean anything. So that's
Does
you-
Blake do that a lot as DM? You just
What?
roll dice around.
He doesn't do it a lot.
I only do it when they're not doing anything.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's because he's gonna put something in. Sometimes it's just to make us go, oh shit, we should really do something, otherwise he's gonna put something in.
Do that.
Yeah. Alright, Astro. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in.
Yes, thank you for stopping in. Happy birthday for Was it 3 days ago?
3 days ago. Yeah, oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about your own one just then.
No.
The problem with the rule of cool is that you most likely think this cool thing is just normal. Example, Alfredo kicking the bed and attacking within the same 6 seconds. Seems so normal to him, but I have never seen this be done in game before. Good use of surrounding objects seems pretty cool to me. So, what Blue's saying is, yeah, maybe they let you do it in their game.
Yeah.
But just
Because
because...
I'm thinking like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
John. That's something like John Wick would fucking do. Like,
Yeah.
just like kick the bed across and takes at his knees, and
Yeah.
then you like jump with a knife and just stab him with a
But like, when you think of John Wick, do you think of him as being a level 1 character?
No.
Exactly. Like, the guy's probably a level 20 fighter and has 5 attacks in it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole point.
What I think of now that you mentioned that is kick-ass.
Yeah.
When he,
Yeah.
when he gets his like police battle and he's about to whoop these like dudes' ass, and they just
And he-
stab the shit out
But
of
that
him.
was the thing, 'cause he walked over and he went, and then got stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, because he was like, yeah, this is fine, I've got this, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna hit him like 6 times with these,
I'm gonna do like spin
before they can
moves.
do anything, and they stab him because he's not that proficient with what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then when, what's the little girl's superhero name?
Hit girl.
Hit
girl.
Yeah.
When she walks in, she's like, yeah, cool, here's my butterfly knife, and I'm gonna play with it while I'm killing this guy, and he's not actually gonna make any actions because I've got 5 attacks in 1 turn.
Yeah.
Like,
Proficient.
that's right. It's not proficiency. Proficiency is
Oh, that's
it's less in this game.
And
But it's
ridiculously-
like having more levels.
It's just ridiculously high.
But she just goes, all right, well, I'm gonna throw it at the dude.
Yeah.
And because I've got such a massive to hit modifier, like the old characters, yeah,
Have
because I've got such a massive to hit with this plus 9 attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you
Roll.
find your new desk?
I fucking love it.
So
I
far.
have so much space
So much space.
to do stuff.
So much room for activity.
It's so much room for activities. I noticed it's a tycoon desk.
It is.
Yeah.
You got it from Officeworks?
Yeah,
Or?
it is. $200.
I got my gaming chair's a tycoon.
Yeah. It's just, it was big, and I was like, hell yeah, I get an extra 20 centimeters and an extra 15 centimeters long.
It's actually just a ridiculous amount of room, though.
It is.
Yeah,
My actual like DM screen goes all the way, and I have everything. I'm not
Yeah.
You don't have the sides like.
Like
your
when
buttons
you
square.
when you say it, oh, I've got an extra 15 centimeters. An extra
It doesn't
20
sound like that
centimeters.
much.
Like, okay, so what's the point? Why
Yeah.
don't you just keep going to death? Like, it's a ridiculous amount of extra room.
Yes.
Especially when the minis and shit that you're using are this big.
Perfect.
Like, yeah, cool, put that there, and I can fit 4 more minis in that extra little bit of room that I've gotten. It's a lot.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Are you like building it into the screen? Is that what you're doing?
I'm doing something I did previously. Make
I don't know what's going on.
So we're intriguingly watching like
Oh, mate, I don't
do
even know
some
what's going on.
MacGyver shit.
I arts and crafts a lot.
He does.
I'm currently in the middle of building my Dungeon Master screen.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
So we can't see chat anymore.
I can see chat.
I mean, you can see chat apparently.
Wow.
Oh, my
The
tablet.
tablet's there.
Sure. Like your phone.
I've got it out. I don't know why he doesn't.
I feel like it's rude for me to have my phone.
Why?
Leave it face down so that you're not sitting there on Facebook like you just opened. That being said,
Yeah, yeah.
it is 20 past 11,
It is 20 past 11. I just
and
realised
I
it's-
think you've fallen off the conversation a little bit.
me.
Yeah.
I didn't ask like how his desk was going.
Oh, but when you did it, I watched you slump down and just start staring at him.
No, but he does that.
And-
when he
Yeah, I
talks.
did that.
I'm aware.
Because I
It
did
was
like
different though.
up close to. Oh, it was how so? How was it different?
Is Steam screen going to be YouTube build video?
No, not this one.
Nope, there you go.
This
No.
is my personal one.
Yes.
And I already have built a lot of it. So I am planning on building one for a friend.
Oh, are you? Did not know this.
So I
Very
will
good.
be having one online as a building video to show people how to build their own DM screen out of like wood and fabric and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So that way, it's actually cheaper than buying a DM screen from Wizards of the Coast, like the small little ones.
Oh, right up it is. Yeah. You just gotta have
patience.
the patience and the crafty mind to put it together and like
Hello.
do it right.
Commitment and discipline.
Oh, not really. You just gotta get a little bit crafty with it.
Yeah.
Think about it and
I'm about to put this onto my DM screen using magnetic tape.
Nice. So it's on the
that's the
inside.
craftiness.
Yep.
So it's inside
Yep.
of the
it'll be on
DM screen,
this
and
one.
then you can just.
Yep. I just write it out.
That's him being crafty. Like it's not taking a ridiculous amount of effort him doing it. He's just like,
I
oh
need
shit.
a ruler.
If I just put,
It's getting smart.
but he's just like, oh shit. If I put some magnetic tape on the back of it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
put it on the DM screen, then I've got it sitting
sweet.
on the DM screen.
Look, when I first did this, I was like, oh yeah, that's mad. But again, I've already done it.
Yeah.
This is not the first one I've done.
But yeah.
I'm just currently getting this off this.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy.
Yeah.
So, what have you learnt tonight?
It's good to ask questions. It's not necessarily. I think what I figured out is if you try to immerse yourself, you try too hard to immerse yourself, you're gonna get yourself lost.
No. Just more
No,
of
but I
a...
think, I don't know.
I think you.
What I'm trying to say is like,
Yep.
if you go like, completely full immersion mode, like,
Full immersion's good. Full immersion's when you're speaking in character. You're not narrating what your character's doing. You're just doing it.
yeah. So what I'm saying is like me in this reality right here, right? I'm not just be like, oh, hey God, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? So like, that's what I think of when I go like full immersion.
I think I see what you.
You see what I'm getting at? Like
What he's
that
told us
absolute
there is
100%.
all that's there.
Oh, yeah.
Is,
right.
Yeah.
So
You have to ask the question to look the other way, or even just I turn my head to the left. Like,
what do I see?
yeah, that's right. Very good.
I think what I'm trying to get at, it's okay to talk to God.
Yeah. Ask questions. And you'll figure out
Asking
more
questions
about
is okay. You don't have to
the world.
be like, this is me, this is my world. Everything the DM has told me is absolute.
Correct.
Well, yeah, it's not just what has been described already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get at.
yeah.
I've finally
I'm
got.
not going to tell you everything.
Yeah.
If you look for it, I'll
If we
elaborate.
ask about it.
Yeah.
If
If,
we
if
basically
you
looking
ask,
for it.
I'll elaborate.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to elaborate, I'm not going to, and I'm not going to sit here and bore you
Yeah.
with a Tolkien level description of a tree. If you're just going to walk past it.
Yeah.
If you ask what the tree, the law on this tree, I might come up with something because there's probably not going to be any law for that tree.
Yeah.
But if I come up with it, it's because you were interested in it and you were trying
Yeah.
to do something with it. It's because you asked the question.
Also, I've had my first taste of gameplay experience and
Yeah.
roleplay experience, which is pretty cool. I think that's gotten me to understand also a bit more of what it's going to be like
Yeah.
in game.
And I may roll dice. Doesn't mean anything's coming.
Yeah, and
So don't metagame.
don't be
roll the dice.
Yeah.
Something else as well that you should take away from this is every DM is different.
Yes.
Yes.
You might hear things that I do, don't take it as gospel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because he does it doesn't mean I will do it.
Yeah. And be yourself.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob, for that one.
It is such good advice. Though.
Yeah. Be
You
yourself.
learn so much by playing this game about
Yeah.
who the person you're sitting in front
Because
of.
I've always gone in like, oh, I've written this character sheet.
Yep.
That's who I need to act like. That's Nice. Be yourself.
So one of the things that Blake always says when you're making a D&D character is put some of yourself into it.
Yeah.
Don't ever build a character that is entirely not you.
Yeah. Always put a bit of yourself in
Yeah. Because it makes it easier to play the character.
Yeah.
If you're going to choose the exact opposite of everything you're doing, and then you try and immerse yourself into that character, you're going to sit there and think, okay, hold on. So what would I do? This. What's the opposite of that? This. Okay. I do. And you've just sat there thinking about what you're going to be doing for 10, 15 seconds when you've been asked what you're doing.
Yeah, that was...
If I can ask you, what are you doing? You're like, fuck it, I'm going to go and do this. It's because it's probably something you would have done as well.
Yeah.
At some point,
You know,
even in a video game, I would have just gone and checked it out. But that's now the character.
You know what was funny? When you were sitting there rolling that dice, and
Yeah.
then you're like, 3 hours has passed, what are you doing? I was like, in my head, I was just like, having a wank.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know.
Up to you, bro. I'm not gonna describe it if you say. You say, cool. You accomplished that feat.
You accomplished that, you finished that task.
You finished that task.
Great, now what are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna skip over that.
I was playing an online game this one time, going through a dungeon, and I had an uninterested player. I was sharing my screen and moving players' pieces around.
Yeah. So what happened with the uninterested player? What did they make things harder? Did they just kind of not give anything to go off of while you were trying to include them?
Did you end up dropping a piano on his head?
I hope not. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Everyone was moving forward through the dungeon. The uninterested person said, yeah, I moved towards the exit. So I moved them back to the entry of the dungeon. A couple of rounds later, they realized they were moving the opposite direction to the party. Only after a couple of rounds?
Really?
That's some level of disinterest that they watch their character getting further away from the party and they're like, no, this is fine, I'm still with them.
Probably like texting or something.
But yeah, that sounds exactly like what would be happening.
Surely it's just like to throw something at them while they're split up. Just
That's
like,
one of
oh
the
yeah.
things that I most am most terrified of, and it's having players that don't care about what's going on, but don't actually voice that. If you don't care about a quest that you're on, you don't have to do the quest. You can just go, you know what? I don't care enough to be going through all this, and you walk away. You find something else to do.
Yeah, but who the fuck would do that?
What do you mean?
Bro, every quest is just like, alright, bet, let's fucking go.
But that's you as a person. That's why you as a character would do the same thing. You'd be like, nah, fuck it, we still doing this, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone that plays D&D would be like kind of similar in that aspect of being like interested in everything because they want that adventure.
Alright,
That's the whole
I'll tell you a
point of them
story
playing
then.
D&D.
Tell you a story then. Very, very, very early in our first campaign, we made our way to a castle. And we made our way to where the little hidden area in the castle was. It was like a little shack out the back. From the shack comes a Death Knight. So a Death Knight's essentially like an undead paladin. Like,
Oh, fuck.
high level, like very dangerous if they're coming after you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he cursed us, used magic, and we all had like a handprint come up on us.
Oh, wow.
That was the symbol of the curse.
Right.
He told us, that's for basically intruding on my domain. I'll remove the curse if you do this for me. So the task was we had to go and slay a Gith. So Gith is a race. So just one specific creature within the world. Go and find them, kill them, and I'll undo the curse. We didn't know what the curse was. We didn't know what it would do. I think we had an idea that it would kill us in a couple of months, game time or something. most of the characters died before then, and this is actually this character here. I found a magic item that leveled me up to level 10.
Yeah.
And then I got access to this spell right here, Greater Restoration. And I cast it on myself, and I got rid of the curse. We were hard on going to do this thing for this Death Knight that had cursed us so that he would remove the curse. And then shit came up, and we just stopped doing the quest, and we're doing other quests.
Well, necessarily.
And I just healed myself.
Huh?
I just got rid of the curse on myself.
And he also didn't know if it was going to hurt him, if it
Yeah.
was going to do anything.
I was making
And
checks
The
and-
moment he did it,
He's like, yeah.
he got
Cool.
I didn't punish him for not wanting
I
to.
mean, if you forgot about the curse, then you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just
No, he was checking.
I was checking
Oh,
all the
paranoid.
time. Yeah.
paranoid.
Yeah. But like that's exactly the point.
Every time you hear like
We-
blank dice roll, you're like,
We put it out of interest for the quest because there was other stuff going on and we're like, that sounds more interesting, we're gonna go and do that.
So I didn't
Well,
punish
yeah, okay, well, I get that, but just being like, oh, we're about to go into this dungeon. Yeah, I don't want to see it.
You might not feel like doing a dungeon. Well, like what if you
I can't fathom that. I just can't fathom that. I feel like
When you start playing, you will
Yeah.
you will
I
understand.
feel like
There are
I
just
feel like I'll
certain
go into
times
this
where
one.
something comes up. You go, you know what? I just don't feel like it at the moment.
I just go into this one dungeon and I just leave absolutely violated with one health point left. I'm like, I don't want to go.
I've done it before. During lockdown, we were fighting rust monsters. I showed you that one when we were going.
Oh,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
book. And I got hit by one of them, and it dealt like a significant portion of my health. And I went, "We cannot fight these things. They are going to kill us. I'm leaving."
Good.
Yeah, I left.
Oh,
I did. I left.
Good heavens.
And the rest of them stayed there, fought them, beat them, and I was just sat outside. I was like, we can't beat these things. I just got hit by one, and it did a ridiculous amount of damage to me. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
And that's assessment. That's him
Yeah.
understanding, okay, that's not meta knowledge, that is, I just got hit hard, I'm fucking off.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I've barely just survived this hit.
Yeah.
I need to go.
Yeah, that's what I did. And the rest of the players actually beat the monsters. But me as my character went, nah, fuck that.
I'm guessing they didn't give
And
you
like-
any loot from that.
I took the loot already. I already had the loot.
So
he
killing-
took up after
He
we
took a
found it.
weapon that I put in there, not designed
It's
for him,
someone else.
it's someone else. He took it.
But can't you like swap it?
You can,
Yeah.
I didn't have to keep it.
but he did.
I did. But yeah, like that's literally the dungeon that you were talking about.
So is all loot only accessible in chests and stuff? Because I feel like certain monsters, if you kill them, they have like some kind of loot.
Well, if you fight a town guard
Mm.
and he's fighting you with a short sword, and you kill him, you can pick up a short sword.
And you can also search his pockets.
Yeah.
Look,
You might have some gold.
See if he
on
has
there.
gold or anything.
What
but
if
if
this
you,
town guard has armor? Can you just
Take the armor off.
yeah, they've done that to go through disguises and
Yeah.
stuff like that to the town to
Yeah.
do missions. Some missions aren't even just like fight the monster. Some missions are let's sneak into the town to do a like investigation, and you could
It's reconnaissance.
yeah
and then you like
Like-
knock out the guard and
lampshades.
Name checks. Yeah. This character again. Oh, bro, this was my first character and the character I ended the campaign with. This is the one that came back to life. There was a point where we were in a castle.
like Skyrim. Yeah.
Yeah. We were in a castle, and we were going through our. What we had to do was go in, find the king, assassinate him, and get out.
Oh, shit.
And something happened, and we heard people coming up the hallway, and we're like, "Shit, we need to hide. Like, we need to." And I had magic armor. I think it's on this sheet.
What,
Here.
does it turn you invisible?
No, it doesn't turn me invisible. I could say a keyword and change it to look like whatever I wanted it to. Like,
Oh,
in terms of
Clothing.
armor and clothing.
is that a homebrew?
No, it's real item. So what I did was I ducked into a little like alcove in the wall where there was a door, and I peered around the side, waited till I saw them. I walked up, I saw they were guards, took a look at their guard uniform, and I changed my uniform into looking like a guard's uniform. So I just stood there against the wall. They walked past me like, wait, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, I'm like, bro, what? Like, I work here.
Did you like ask him like specific questions about like the kingdom and shit?
No.
If he's a real guy.
Because he was wearing guard armor.
I was wearing guard's armor.
Not every guard knows every guard. The kingdom's so big.
Ah, right.
There could be a new person on that day, and then the head guard, like, they don't know because they're not the head guard, they're not the high-ups.
And then basically we got into a bit of a scuffle of them going like, wait, what the fuck? Like, get the hell out of here. And then the rest of the guards heard it from the door that I was basically hiding up against. One of the head guards comes out and is like, oi, we don't treat our own like that. You can go and do another patrol.
Another 20 laps, pheasant.
Yeah, like you can go and do another patrol. Like normally they would have been coming off patrol because they're coming
off duty,
someone else
like
would
a
have on the patrol.
Yeah.
So they just took me into the break room, which was what I was basically hiding up against, and I went on break for the guards.
While you're like, party members have to try and kill this.
Yeah,
thing.
while
Just
my
hanging out
party
there.
members are trying to figure out a way to hide and get through this fucking castle.
You're just hanging out in the break room playing cards or some shit.
Well, no, I ended up having this head guard was like, yeah, cool, we're gonna go and I like you. I'm gonna take you with me while I'm gonna do this other thing, and we've got to go past and go see the king along the way.
Oh.
He literally just walked me up to him.
Oh.
Like, but that was the main mission there.
And then you were
Is
also...
Bahamut stronger than the Demogorgon? I don't think so.
No.
I think the Demogorgon is a lot stronger. I think. I could be wrong. The Demogorgon is
But a Demogorgon isn't a demigod.
No, the demon of the Nine Hells.
yes, but it's also the demon of the Nine Hells.
Okay.
It's not the, it's one.
He is the like the highest ranking demon in all of them. Or the Abyss, sorry.
I was going to say the
The
Abyss.
Abyss.
No, the upside
He
down.
is the highest ranking demon of the Abyss.
I used to own a Demogorgon figure.
Yeah.
What does it look like compared
It was
to
about this big.
what is
Oh.
the actual Demogorgon?
I'm
look like?
about to pull up the actual stats.
Yeah.
I have him in a book. Okay. So here we go.
Here
So
it is.
huge, you know that stone giant soldier?
Yeah.
That's how big huge is.
That's what it looks.
Oh, that's not to see.
So you're about the size of his like toe.
No stone.
Yeah.
His foot.
Probably his foot. Depending on what variation.
Well, and you have to fight this fucking thing.
So this is the stat block here.
Right.
So
Strength.
It is 29
plus 9. Is that plus 9 in crit?
plus 9 to any of its strength checks.
No, sure. Dex 14.
And it's 406 hit points.
What's
Its armor
Con.
class is 22.
Constitution? What is it?
Constitution is like
Health.
yeah.
Oh, it's Constitution is health.
It's not just
How well you
but
are.
it's
Like
how well you can deal with poison.
Oh,
Like
immune system. Let's say
yeah,
immune system.
yeah.
Intelligence 20.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom 17. Chat. Oh, charisma.
So now put that up against the level 10 version of this character. 21 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 14 intelligence, 12 wisdom, 21 charisma.
I think you only think you beat them on this dexterity.
Yeah. By 2. So I had plus 1 on its dexterity. Everything else, that hits on my character.
And that's like almost max.
This is like halfway through the character level.
yeah, I think
But alright, so
Bahamut wins.
126. Was
Yeah,
it?
Bahamut fucking wins. Oh,
Is he
yeah.
actually a god or not?
That's
That's what I was
he's
unsure
a
about.
celestial.
Yeah.
He's gargantuan.
Would he be in this?
No. If you want to know how big gargantuan is, I've only seen one gargantuan statue before at one of my friend's houses. His dad has it. It's about this big. And then
So-
the Demogorgon was this big.
So all the statues are not to scale, but like
In game to scale.
in-game to scale.
Yeah.
So that being the normal size of the human,
Yeah.
all the rest of the statues are to scale.
Yeah, so you see the cube, the
Yeah.
gelatinous cube in front of you? That's large.
Okay. So CR here is challenge rating is basically it's trying to tell you how difficult the thing is to fight, right? So this has a challenge rating of 26. Bahamut apparently, according to that block, has a challenge rating of 40.
No, the one I'm looking at, challenge rating 24.
That's what I said according to this.
Yeah.
24.
So, yeah, he has actions, right?
Yep.
So he has one called Destructive Will. And he rolls a d6 at random, and it chooses one at random. If he lands on it again, it re-rolls, but they're chargeable. Some of them have one use only. Number one, Disintegrate, targeting 2 creatures in range.
Yep.
Meteor Swarm. It's only usable once.
Yep.
Chain Lightning, Sunburst, only usable once. Flame Strike, and Ice Storm.
Is that once per turn? Or once?
Yes, correct. Once per turn.
Yeah.
But he can't use the same one again in a row. He makes 3 attacks. His bite is plus 17 to hit, 3d10s plus 10 piercing, and then plus 2d8 radiant. So that's on his first attack. His second attack is just 3d10 slashing. And then he also has a tail whip as well. And then he has his dragon breath. So it's radiant. DC 21 to take half damage of this, by the way.
Yep.
24 d8s.
Yep.
Or you roll a flat number of 108.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. He has the basic immunities, except he's also immune to poison. His passive perception is 27. He has legendary resistance, which means that he can re-roll failed saving throws.
Legendary resistance means you can choose to succeed.
Oh yeah, they can choose succeed instead, sorry. Magic resistance, that means any magical effect against him, he can roll with advantage.
Yep. So, I feel like the real thing that Bahamut wins there for is the breath.
Oh yeah, that's it. Like,
So Demogorgon is 3d12 plus 9 on its tentacle attacks. And then the target has to succeed a DC 23 Constitution saving throw or have its hit point maximum reduced by the damage taken.
yeah.
Like, that reduces hit point maximum.
Yeah.
And it's also got its gaze feature, which DC 23 wisdom saving throw, and it incapacitates the target.
So conditions,
Yeah.
immunity, blind. He's immune to being blinded, frightened, exhausted, grappled, paralyzed, poisoned, prone, restrained.
Yeah, cool. Incapacitated, not any of those. So
Is that
it can gaze at it and go, incapacitated now.
So
And then it chooses a random effect, which is it's stunned until the start of the Demogorgon's next turn until it's no longer within line of sight.
that doesn't work.
It can make it charmed.
He can be charmed.
Chooses how the charmed target uses its actions, reactions, and movement. Blah 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 blah. Or the third one is suffers the effect of the confusion spell without making a saving throw.
Yeah, blinded, confused, disease, exhaustion. So only one works.
No. It suffers the effects of the confusion spell.
It literally says here confused.
Yeah.
Like it's immune to being confused.
Yeah.
What does the Demogorgon attacks?
What do you mean?
Like what damage type?
Bludgeoning. Magical bludgeoning.
Okay, because he's resistant against literally everything else that isn't necrotic.
What are the damage types that that uses?
This?
Yep.
Radiant. That's his breath weapon.
Okay. So,
And then the rest is slashing, piercing, magical.
Yeah. Because he's resistant to cold, fire, lightning, immune to poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical, conditioned immunities, charmed, exhausted, frightened, poisoned.
So what we're saying is Bahamut would rock.
It's a pretty fair fight, depending on that breath weapon.
Right.
Huh. He has a.
Because this also has the gaze where it just goes, you do nothing.
He also has a legendary action. Oh no, it's an action. Sorry. So he lets out a thunderous roar, stopping enemies in their tracks. Each creature in the range must make a DC 22 Charisma saving throw, or on a failed save, they are no longer able to take bonus actions or reactions or use their movement. They can still use their dash action until the start of the next round.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What's,
it does take a charge though. Like
what's
it has to recharge.
the wisdom saving throw on him? On Bahamut?
Plus 10.
Plus 10?
Yeah.
The charisma saving throw on Demogorgon is plus 7.
Yeah.
So, pretty similar. Especially when they're only like 20 somethings.
Yeah. His AC is 22.
AC 22.
Yeah.
406 hit points.
392.
Yep.
So they're not very far off.
Why is this?
It's a pretty fair fight. It really comes
I was
down to
gonna say,
that
why
breath
does it-
weapon and
Why does the
whether or
fight sound so fair, but like
Because
Bahamut's
they-
like 2 times the size of this fucking thing?
because this thing is literally like the god of the abyss.
Like,
The way that the abyss works in D&D, like in lore, is that the strongest rule.
Right.
So he is the strongest, and no other demon has ever beaten him, and so he's just that powerful.
He's just that guy.
Yeah. The Demogorgon from D&D is nothing like what they called the Demogorgon.
Yeah,
in
fucking
Stranger Things.
yeah.
Nothing.
oh, actually, never mind. Red Hat legendary action. Celestial Shield, 2 action points. The manifests 7 spectral ancient gold dragons around himself that protect him. He just gains 77 temporary hit points.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bloody fuck.
But it does state that this ability can't be used again until all 77 are used.
Yeah. So that'd probably so he probably would win Bahamut.
Because of that ability as well.
That and the breath weapon.
Yeah.
Because the breath weapon just has so much damage.
So temporary hit points isn't healing. It's like an extra pool of hit points that you get.
It's extra stuff.
So it doesn't touch your actual health, it just touches that little, it's like a shield. It's like Halo.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know how you have a shield and
Yeah.
you gotta get through that
Part of
first
the
before
shield,
you.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
On that epic note,
Yeah.
it
On-
is almost
that
12
note-
a.m.
He's a CR26, right?
Who?
Bahamut
24.
24. I can put it up against a CR30, and the 30 will just get its fucking ass handed to it. The Taras.
But you are correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jacob, outro.
Yeah. We are going to end the stream here. We've gone off on many, many tangents.
Yeah.
And it is 5 to 12. So, yeah. I would like to go to bed.
I would too, actually.
No, you have to stay here and keep hosting the show.
What?
We stream Mondays for our podcast, the one that you're watching right now, 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then we also stream on Wednesdays and Fridays, playing D&D, 2 different groups. Come and say hi. Come and, send some stuff in chat. We'll get to you when we can, but obviously the game takes precedence.
And if you guys haven't yet, drop a follow.
Drop a follow.
Yes.
Yeah, keep up to
We
date.
have a YouTube channel where all of our content does get uploaded, and we also have a Discord that we at the moment we use it to invite people into actually chat with us live on the podcast,
And
we also have a whole lot of memes that end up in there.
Yeah.
D&D based, usually based on the campaigns that we run.
yeah, and also we what do you call it? We also post memes.
Yeah, I brought.
We do giveaways.
Memes.
We also do giveaways and stuff like that. We have way more content coming out. So yeah,
Really cool shit.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's a good time. Come laugh at us for all that dumb shit that we do.
Yes.
Like when I put my arm into a gelatinous cube and got 2 characters killed because of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, so make sure. Also, another thing too, if you could, just make sure you stick around for the raids, so that way we can raid a smaller channel.
Yeah.
And just give them some love.
Give 'em
It
the
always
love.
feels
Get in,
great
just
when
say hi.
someone raids you.
It's always a good time.
But yeah,
I mean, pass on the gift.
alrighty. So guys, thank you for stopping by.
Cheers, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
We love having you. We love talking shit with you around.
Of course, of course.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time.
Until next time.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.
Bye.